roads right now, and taking a look at a few drive times. It's 9 minutes from 270 and Olive down to 44, a 12-minute ride from 55 and Gravois down to 255, 270, and just 7 minutes from 64 and 22nd Street downtown to 170. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Thank you, Captain Paul. KTRS weather today is our coldest day for the next 7 days, but it's mostly sunny. High today of 33. Tonight, cloudy, overnight low of 17. Tomorrow, warming trend begins. Cloudy, high of 42. Then Friday, partly cloudy, high near 50. Weekend temps will be in the 40s, but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week will be back over 50. Right now, we have 33 degrees. The time is 3:10. I'm Sobe Bay, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
What have we learned about Heidi?
But cockroaches were the least of her problems. Heidi had to fight for every opportunity.
You know, Heidi is, even though she's very kind of sweet and innocent,
Heidi wanted out of the slum, and her agent wasn't doing enough.
Oh my God, they moved Heidi right next to me now.
Although Heidi seems serene,
she's a bit naughty.
she uses an ancient folk remedy to help calm her down.
Heidi is back.
Again, and by we, I mean all three of us. Heidi, Glaus, Bob Ramsey, Josh Gilbert. Though Bob Ramsey's only here for a moment because we are sitting with a Hall of Famer.
Stop it now.
Okay.
Royalty.
Royalty
Josh,
indeed.
you can go ahead.
So, officially being inducted into the St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame tonight. Do you have your speech ready?
You know what they do, which is awesome? They don't do speeches.
Oh, that is nice, isn't it?
It's great.
Thank
and
God.
what they do is they have whatever. Yeah, you don't want to hear that. You hear enough of that every day here. It's really a neat deal. They have who's ever inducting you do I don't know how many minutes, 3, 4, 5 minutes Q&A. So, and I don't think I'm
I like that a lot better.
Yeah, anyway, personal, I don't know what they ask me, whatever they want, I guess.
And who is doing your Q&A?
I don't think I'm supposed to know.
Oh, but you do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait.
It's perfect.
Okay.
Is it your broadcast partner for the last 40 years, Earl?
That would be 35 years. That would be an obvious choice.
But that's
But
not
it's
it.
not. Okay. We'll see.
Or,
we'll see.
it could be your wife. That'd be fun.
Oh.
Maybe
Except
you don't know.
Maybe you have things like, why don't you put the dishes in the dishwasher?
That's right. It could
that'd
really
be a legitimate question.
Maybe we
hold
could get
you over the fire.
like one of your enemies to do it.
He doesn't
do you have any
enemies?
that you've made over the years?
No enemies. Alive. That's a movie quote. Sorry. You know what, though? What I'm really proud of is my wife's volleyball team is going into the St. Louis University Hall of Fame.
Oh, that's cool.
On Friday.
On the same night.
Yeah.
It's a big Hall of
going
Fame week because then we have Mark Mosier.
on Saturday.
Yeah.
For the ambush out at Family Arena.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
we're just-
really good.
I mean, the halls here at KTRS just full of Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
Starting with Mr. Dorsey
Yep.
and on down the line. And I got to broadcast a ton of Moser's games. He was so good. He was so good.
Looking back, I did go to a few ambush games, but I don't know if it overlapped or not at the time. But yeah, it's cool to be a part of this station where so many cool people walk the halls. Let me tell you what we have coming up on today's show. First up, and I am so excited about this. You guys know by now that every other week we chat with Valerie Friedland, professor of linguistics. Well, as we approach Valentine's Day, we've probably all done it at some point. You sign that card, XO.
Yeah.
When did the XO become hugs and kisses or kisses and hugs? How did that become kind of a
That is weird.
short
because
cut.
we learned about the X for Xmas, how that came about.
Yeah.
What is this? What's the deal with X?
X is, were you in a sorority, Bob?
Yeah, I was in a sorority.
He was in a sorority house a lot. That's different.
The Chi, right?
You're welcome.
Isn't the Chi an X in the Greek alphabet? Chi? Isn't that an X? No, you
I
guys don't
believe
remember?
so. If I'm
Yes.
thinking about Chi Omega, Alpha Chi, I'm
Yeah.
looking at. I didn't pass that test, which is why I wasn't in a
I
sorority.
didn't take Latin.
And
Sorry.
the cross is, the X is kind of another version of the cross. So I think there's a religious thing to it.
Okay, well, we're going to let
We're
Valerie
going to find out.
Okay.
explain
That's
all of
good.
it. So I think that'll be fun. We're also going to check in with ABC's Luke Barr. It looks like ICE is pulling about 700 people from Minnesota. So we'll get the latest on that story. In the 4 o'clock, Lauren Risley will join us, and we'll just kind of get a state of the housing market right now. I mean, it's cold. There's still snow on the ground at my house. Is it better just to wait until spring to start looking or ready to list your house, or should you go ahead and start getting ready now? We'll talk to Lauren about that. We'll also talk to David Pogue from CBS Sunday Morning. I don't know if you guys watched over the weekend, but he did a really fun story on kind of the history of TV theme songs. And I don't know about you guys, but I used to have that CD. It's probably still somewhere in the basement of all the, greatest theme songs from the 70s, 80s.
Did
And
you really do that?
Yeah, we have that one. It's so much fun.
That's awesome.
Because you can put it in and you kind of play the game. Who can name it fastest? Yeah, I mean,
Andy
come
Griffith
on.
Show.
Well done.
Yeah, there's so many great ones.
You got that in 3 notes.
Oh, my parents were obsessed with it.
Yeah, so was I.
Channel 11.
Me and your parents,
The
I think we could
whistle.
watch all the same shows.
I think so.
But, they kind of have evolved through the years. All of a sudden, we didn't have much of TV theme songs. And then all of a sudden, you kind of have this age of, HBO and Netflix. And then they have these longers, almost like beautiful compositions.
Like
that,
art.
Yeah, it really, it is.
And remember Mad Men?
Oh, that was a good one, too.
I think that one might have won a
I think
Grammy
it
here for
did.
something.
Yeah.
The first one I noticed was HBO around 2000 was Deadwood, which I was a fanatic about that. And I thought kind of setting the tone for shows.
Sopranos.
Oh, no,
The Sopranos.
that was great.
So we'll talk to David Pogue about that. In the 5 o'clock, this is a really fascinating thing, too. And I don't know why somebody didn't think of this, sooner. But thankfully, Lindenwood University has kind of stepped up. So the Missouri State Legislature is less than 30% female. And so Lindenwood University hosted its first ever weekend seminar called Rise and Run that kind of walked women through what's necessary. What do you need to know? How do you raise money? So we're going to talk to the 2 women who put this seminar together. They say they'll probably do it again, but we'll talk about that. If you're interested
interesting, yeah.
in running, and what is the one thing that maybe keeps women from throwing their hat in the ring? So we'll talk about all of that. We'll
Maybe
also
that's such a nasty business.
that was what would keep me from it. We'll also talk to the co-author of Come Fly With Me, The Rise and Fall of TWA. TWA is kind of, I think, woven in to the cloth of St. Louis. So we'll kind of start at the beginning and walk our way through with Mr. Alan Hoffman. That's coming up. We've got a few entertainment stories to get to, and then we'll wrap this show up with some randoms. I got to give Josh some props.
What?
Doesn't happen that often.
Oh, this Josh, you mean?
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
I know it's shocking.
This is like my Hall of Fame induction.
I was going to say it's about as close as he's going to get.
Wait, hang on. Let me actually start listening.
Okay. Yeah. That. Well done. So I think it was a month ago, maybe even 2 months ago, we started having this conversation about the frozen, condensed version of orange juice. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
The Minute Maid, or then sometimes there was the Limeade, because we were talking, that's what I used to put in the, the beer. You could make like a summer shandy kind of thing. You
The
break
little
that
cylinder,
open.
almost like a biscuit thing. but
Yes.
you push it out and put it in the pitcher and
Right.
yeah.
And we talked about it on the air. I had posted something on it on Facebook, and it had moved over to Threads, and then like 7,000 people had commented on it. I had just kind of
Wow.
opened it up and said, what the heck? We talked about it on the air. All the texters jumped in and said you can still buy it. I used to get the limeade. My brother-in-law still does it.
But you said you couldn't find it. You were asking, do they still do this?
Well, I never really looked for it because, if I want orange juice, I want to, twist the top off and pour it in and put it, instant.
You don't want to work for it.
I don't want to work for it at all.
It's kind of a theme.
Yeah.
Right.
Pretty consistent. We got to give him consistency.
Yes, consistency, another accolade.
Are you going to laud me yet or what?
Yeah, well, I'm saying you brought this up, and now here's a headline. Minute Maid is discontinuing its frozen canned juices after 80 years.
Whoa!
So I wonder if it's lack of sales or if it's becoming too expensive to produce.
Yeah. Well, I think it's probably like Josh. You want something a little easier. I would assume, now I don't know, and you guys can weigh in on the KTRS text line, 84126. Wouldn't the concentrate be cheaper?
You would think.
Like that's maybe a cost-saving thing to grab that and let it...
I'm the one making it.
Right. But we do live in a very, easy, let's not wait society.
And here's the other thing, and I don't mean this as a shot to anybody, because I'm kind of that way too. We want fresh. We want organic.
Mm-hmm.
We've always talked. You and I talk about the orange juice machine at the
original Pancake House
in Chesterfield. It tastes so much better.
Mm-hmm.
It tastes so good. And I think in so many things we want fresh, now organic. And maybe that's part of it.
Yeah, could be.
Here's my thought. Have you been to the orange juice section at the grocery store?
Mm-hmm.
They've got high pulp. They've got pulp free. They've got calcium. They've got orange juice with
protein.
They've got orange juice with grapefruit juice in it. They've got, the Simply brand has started with orange juice, and now they have, 9 different flavors of, lemonades and this. But then the concentrate is over in the frozen section.
Yes.
So I think people are stumbling upon the orange juice and say, "Oh, this is it."
Yeah,
Yeah, there is no more.
Look no further.
Unless you're of a certain age, and then you knew that it was always
in the frozen
section. I didn't realize how many different flavors. The lineup's classic flavors: orange juice, lemonade, limeade, pink lemonade, and a raspberry lemonade.
Did they have? And you can, by the way, buy all of those in the bottle now. But did they have versions of the orange juice concentrate that had pulp and ones without? Or
I
was
don't
it just,
remember that.
Yeah, I don't either.
This is orange juice. Take it or leave it.
Right.
I think it was sans pulp.
Really?
I think.
Somebody said they always buy the frozen. I like to make it thicker than they do in the bottle and have several recipes that call for frozen concentrate.
A lot of people, I remember, said they put half the water in it.
Yeah.
And it made it thicker and richer.
Yeah. Frozen is always cheaper than the fresh squeezed. Kind of obvious, don't you think? Yes, I do, but who knows? Maybe they think it's harder to, with the metal on the can and who knows how they...
And I don't want to make any accusations. Maybe there's some processed things in there and they're trying to get away from that. I don't know that to be true. I'm just saying it could be.
It seems like it would be more processed being in a tube like that, whereas you would think, they squeeze the juice and they put it directly in the bottle. But I can't imagine that's the case because they put preservatives in everything these days. So when is the last time we can buy this? Because I want to go get it.
It's
this
stock
is
up.
Like the classic thing. Your favorite restaurant's closing. They are? Oh, I love that place. When have you been there? Oh, it was about
1964.
6 years ago.
Isn't that funny? That is the way that we kind of do things.
I want to try it, and I'm going to do it with less water to get the full bite.
Why don't you probably need to get a crate, get a pallet of frozen.
Well, if loyal listener John Eaton's listening right now, I'm going to get the orange juice and put it on the shelf next to the Chef Boyardee pizza I promised to make you.
As we said, consistent.
Yeah, and there's a thing. Remember, it was frozen orange juice was kind of the plot in Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd.
Oh, that was the Trading Places.
Trading Places. And so kids now will, hey, you need to watch this movie, son. And they'll go, what are they talking about?
Yeah.
What's frozen concentrated?
Yeah.
It came in a tube?
What is that?
What?
What's wrong with you people?
So many people weighing in. How am I supposed to make margaritas now that there's no frozen limeade?
Yeah.
Most of the cold juices are made from frozen concentrate. Frozen is better for the environment. Probably don't have the plastic jug. So many drink recipes use the frozen concentrate. Margaritas, a bourbon slush. My mom does make a good bourbon slush.
Ooh, that does sound good.
I don't like bourbon, but I'll take the bourbon slush.
Yeah. Better tell her to stock up on that as well.
Sugar.
So it doesn't say a specific date. It just says near future.
All right. Someone says, I bought the frozen concentrate for 20 years, used the empty container for drainage cooking grease.
Oh.
How many people, text line included, if you open the refrigerator, there'll be a coffee cup in there full of bacon grease?
Ours is a coffee can,
It's a coffee
and it's
can?
underneath the sink.
Yes.
Oh, it is?
exactly
Yeah,
what
not
we
in
do.
the fridge.
It's open?
No, it's
Well, no,
closed.
it's
You got
closed with the lid.
Oh, you put the lid on.
You put
Yeah,
it's
you just
the
leave the-
plastic Folgers or
Exactly.
whatever brand.
But then
Put the
what do
lid-
you do with it?
And then you use it for making eggs
or just
whatever.
dump it when it's full.
And then you dump it, or that.
Well, everybody says use it for cooking. I've never.
I think
I don't save it.
we only really use it I only really use it if I'm frying eggs.
So I'm very conscious of it because I don't want it going down my pipes.
Right.
Right.
I think that's the reason we all do it.
Yeah,
It's
we save
not
it, yeah.
about necessarily doing something else with it.
Because
It's
you're not
to-
going to run out to the garbage
No.
can every time
Right.
you got to dump the frying pan.
Plumbing scares me. So I'll let it
That's a great
sit.
statement.
Uh-huh.
And when it starts to cool or congeal, then I'll take the paper towel and wipe it out as best I can and toss it in the trash can.
There you go.
Early on in my life, though, I took it, and while I guess it was still pretty hot, and I dumped it in the trash bag, and the trash bag melted.
Melted. I was gonna-
And my
When
wife
you
goes,
say-
"What are you doing?" I go, "Don't come over here."
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing's happening.
And
here.
I would like to point out that he said when I was very young, yet he didn't get married until he was 30.
It was my mid-30s. Okay, it was my mid-30s. My early
I can
years.
give him that's young. To me, that's young.
Okay. Italy, Kim said I use frozen limeade in my vodka tonics. It'll be really sad if they stop selling frozen limeade. Oh, they're back from Ecuador. How was it? She said, what a place. Yeah. It's all about flavor with bacon grease
Yeah.
when you're
Yeah.
using that.
What do you make with bacon grease?
Fried eggs.
Fried eggs. Okay, and instead of throwing butter in the pan, you just put a dollop. Oh, I've always wondered.
Instead of putting any oil or anything else down, you just use the bacon grease.
Or you make your bacon and then put the eggs in immediately as it's hot,
no,
too.
I
I don't
Make 'em
fry them
way
anymore.
too
You know, I
brown.
put them in the
yeah,
oven.
like,
But
just
what
saying what my dad does.
I'll take the tin foil and dump that in the frying pan
Okay.
right out of the oven, and that's the perfect amount.
I've always wondered what dollop is used aside from sour cream. What do you use dollop as a measurement for? I think I would use it for bacon grease.
I think you need more than a dollop.
Dollop of bacon
You need
grease.
a little more.
A little more?
Yeah.
Okay.
Double dollop.
Okay.
A dollop of daisy.
Sour cream.
Sour cream. Somebody said, Heidi, I teach food safety. It's not recommended for bacon grease to be set out of refrigeration. We don't ever use it for other additives.
You just feel comfortable
We
having
just-
it around.
No. We just don't put it down the drain.
Yeah.
And so when we fill that coffee can, we take it out. I know a lot of people do use it. We do not.
I don't worry about it. We grew up swimming in the East River.
Well, and with all the pods these days, we've got an espresso. Before that, we had a Keurig.
Right?
Who's got a coffee can anymore?
Well, I would.
All of us.
You have coffee can in the house right now.
Multiple.
Metal?
No. They're all plastic.
They're all plastic now? Okay. But you still do scoop coffee?
Yeah.
Okay. And you do too, Heidi?
We use a different one, but we have a container.
A coffee can.
Yes. Somebody said that they use the bacon grease for making homemade gravy. Yeah.
Well, we use sausage grease for that.
Oh,
For
okay.
sausage biscuits.
Somebody
and
else
gravy.
said
biscuits and
fried
gravy.
potatoes. Yeah, whipped topping. Use a dollop of whipped topping on a
Okay.
piece of pie.
Okay, whipped cream.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
No.
No?
I never do a
You
dollop.
wouldn't
I'm
call it
just
a
dumping
dollop?
the whole thing on there.
All of it.
Yeah, my family always says, "Oh, would you like some pie with your whipped cream?"
Yeah, 3 dollops, please.
Somebody said we use the orange juice can as a giant roller for our hair in the 70s.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I've heard of that.
Of course.
Isn't that fun? All the things we used to do back in the day. Back in the day, my mother-in-law made great spinach salad with the bacon grease. I can
Oh,
get
I can
that.
see
Yeah,
that. I can see
can
that.
too.
Oh,
I bet that's good.
my dad fries up green beans with bacon
Yeah,
grease.
yeah.
Yeah, that's good. And onions.
I mean, well, look, now
Yeah,
there's
they're
even,
good.
you can kind of get a butter that has a bacony grease
Really?
with it. I'm trying to think.
Bacon butter?
There is a, yeah.
Bob just fell out of his chair.
I will Google Hamilton Steakhouse does something with a bacon, and maybe even, do they put it over fries?
Oh,
Yeah.
Bacon butter. I think. Do I see the pearly gates right in front of me? Is this heaven?
oh, if you ate it, you would see the pearly
Maybe.
gates.
Maybe. All right, you guys, it's 3:30. Let's get a check of traffic with Captain Paul.
Heidi 270 south is crowded around Olive and down to 64, and 55 south is stop and go at 4500 South Broadway. Otherwise, we have no other issues on the roads. This traffic report is brought to you by Fielder Electric. See what everyone is saying about the pros at Fielder Electric. Whether it's a new build or a 100-year-old home, Fielder Electric has you covered. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Okay, here's what it is. It is a charcuterie board, is an appetizer at Hamilton's Urban Steakhouse and Bourbon Bar. But with that, of course, you've got your cheeses and your house-cured meats. There's a bacon fat candle that they light, and that candle then melts, and that's your bacon fat that you can dip in.
No way.
Yes. And it is fantastic. I can attest.
So it's in like a little tea candle.
No, it's just kind of
It's sitting in
it's
a
just
dish.
a free form on a dish. Just like any candle you have that you just buy that's not in a
But it's
jar.
edible.
But it's edible.
But instead of wax,
It's bacon fat.
what about the wick?
I don't think you eat the wick. You can pay attention to that as
Okay.
far as that
To
goes.
Avoid the wick.
You can
Yeah.
do whatever you want with the wick.
I've
Yeah.
actually had that
And
at
it's
Hamilton's.
really good.
It is good.
Now, here's what's great. You guys know that I've been trying to lose weight, and it's probably always going to be kind of at the back of my mind. Thankfully, it is more at the back of my mind than the front because I've been working with Premier U. And what's so great about that is I can still have that bacon fat candle if I want. I just don't want as much of it as I would have wanted maybe 6 months ago or a year ago. And that is because I've turned to Premier U. Now, of course, they do the weight loss medications, but that's not all they do. And that weight loss medication is just one tool in the toolbox because you really start out and you do kind of some core testing. Is it your thyroid? Is that's what's getting in the way of maybe you not losing the weight that you want? Is it your metabolism? Do you need another vitamin here or there? And then once you kind of sort that out, then you figure out, okay, what dosage and what do you need to be doing? But you're also reminded you got to work out, you got to walk. You do want to eat clean because this isn't just about losing weight. It's about being more healthy. Premier U can help you like they've helped me, like they've helped Marsha, like they've helped several friends of mine. All, by the way, have seen huge success. I'm not pulling your leg. This is the truth. Premier U has a location in Swansea, one in South County. You can give them a call, set up that initial consultation, 618-750-LIFE. You can also go online to premiermed.com, premiermed.com.
Way back in time, if you had a leak in the roof of your hut, I imagine you had to find a tree close by, scale it, and then jump and hope you could get up there and see what was wrong. Then came the advent of the ladder. There was an easier way to get up there and see if something was wrong. And with modern technology, we finally get around to the drone. Now, the folks at Allen Roofing use those instead of trees and ladders. Send a drone up, find out if there's anything wrong with your roof, get some pictures, go over it with you, and see if there's a problem, how bad it is, what they could do, what it'll cost. Or if everything's just fine, they will tell you that too. Boy, it's so nice we don't have to climb trees to look at our hut. Allen Roofing embracing technology and doing quality roof repair, siding, gutters, everything for the outside of your home. Just ask Gronk. He was one of the first customers. It's Allen Roofing. Find him online at aroofing.net.
It's Jill Farmer for 20 Minutes to Fitness. According to new research reported by the New York Times, you don't need hours at the gym or daily workouts to get real health benefits. In fact, scientists say even one short, well-designed strength workout a week can make a meaningful difference. That's because it's not about how long you work out, it's about how effectively you train. A recent European study found people got significantly stronger in just 1 year training once a week, and that's exactly the philosophy at 20 Minutes to Fitness. Just one 20-minute one-on-one strength session a week. No distractions, no wasted time, targeted exercise, specialized equipment, and top-tier trainers. It works, I know, because I'm getting stronger every week. So if you're short on time, burned out on unrealistic fitness plans, or just want something that finally feels doable, maybe less really is more. 20 Minutes to Fitness, one workout, 20 minutes, once a week. And according to science, that's enough. Locations in Chesterfield and Clayton. Try it.
Basement with a Y. That's Basement E.
It's Basement T.
Basement E?
It's Basement T.
Oh, Basement T. Basement T. I get it. That's the basement waterproofing and foundation repair experts at Woods Basement Systems.
Right. The All Things Basement Tea experts at Woods Basement Systems will provide you a free estimate and dry up that wet basement and fix that cracked foundation. Call 800-388-9326 or go online to woodsbasementsystems.com.
That's woodsbasementsystems.com.
Hey, it's Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. When winter hits St. Louis, your furnace doesn't get a day off. And if yours is older, it may be running nonstop and still not keeping you comfortable. Winter has a way of exposing weak links. You're probably paying more and getting less. Or if your home never quite feels warm enough in the winter, your furnace may be telling you something else, especially if it's been around for a while. That's why I want you to call Premier Heating and Cooling. Their technicians go through 5 years of training beyond industry standards. It's Premier standards. Heating your home shouldn't feel like a struggle. Older furnaces work harder and use more energy. If you want lower energy bills and better heat, it's just all around smarter to consider a new furnace. And yes, Premier offers financing, which makes upgrading a whole lot easier. So whether you need a tune-up or you're ready for something new, make your winter a lot more comfortable for your home or your business. Call 636-916-1122. PremierHeatingCooling.net. Comfort you can count on.
Your dentures no longer fit? Maybe you're missing a tooth or several teeth. Visit Dr. Bowen for Simply Secure Dentures and Dental Implants. The cutting-edge, high-quality dental implants that replace all the teeth in your mouth, and it starts as low as $7,000, not the $35,000 that others charge. If you're only missing a few teeth, Dr. Bowen can permanently replace those with something you don't have to take in and out of your mouth. Learn more at simplysecuredentures.com and get the care you need and the teeth you want at Bowen Dental Care or simplysecuredentures.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Well, as we approach Valentine's Day, there's a chance you'll receive a card or maybe give a card signed with an XO. But how did the X and the O come to mean kisses and hugs? Valerie Friedland, our favorite professor of linguistics, is back with the backstory. I have wondered about this for years.
I know. It's like, why not AB or XY? Those seem to be more logical pairs.
Yeah.
But no, we like XO.
Yeah, and how long have we been using XO?
You know, as far as we can tell in terms of just looking at finding it in the written record, X's have been used to mean things for a long time, but really only to mean kisses since about 1878, which is when we find it first recorded in a novel, the novel Seaforth by Florence Montgomery, where it was used to refer to a kiss. But what's really interesting is the O was also used to refer to a kiss in that book, depending on the mood of the scribbler, she said.
And the X is the kiss and the O is the hug, right? Because when you hug someone, you put your arms around someone, complete the circle.
You really thought this through, Josh.
And the X is like, kind of looks like you're puckering up, you know.
Oh, I never thought of that.
Right? Yes? No?
Well,
Did
I don't know. I sort of feel like the O is more of a pucker. But yes, I mean, There are different theories as to where it comes from. But, actually in the 1800s, it does not seem like O meant that. It didn't mean hugs. In fact, we did see it used for kisses in that context.
Mm-hmm.
It's really not until the 20th century that we see it start to get used for hugs, and there are different theories. One, as you brought up, is the idea of arms encircling you, which is actually a very sweet idea of hugs. I actually think it looks more like a pucker than an X does, but no one asked me, so
Well, we
didn't consult me when they came up with that symbolism. But other theories are that it might just be because O's were often paired with X's in the game tic-tac-toe, which used to be called noughts and crosses.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yes, because X actually meant the sign of the cross as well. Remember when we were talking about Christmas, the X in Christmas, we talked about how X was actually the Greek first letter of the name of Christ, which is why it took on that religious symbolism. Well, because of that sort of relationship with Christ with an X, over time, the mark of an X was taken to be the sign of a cross. And so we also, before it was used to be a kiss, we actually see X used as a cross. And when people weren't literate, sometimes they would sign letters or seal an X into wax seal because they couldn't write their name. So they used X. And in that case, X seemed to be the mark of a cross. But here's the really fun thing is what people did with that X is they brought it to their lips to seal it with a kiss.
Oh.
So can you see where I'm going?
Yes, that makes sense too.
Yes, so it was probably because it was more of a mark of fealty or faithfulness, because that was what the cross was supposed to mean, is that you were sealing this with your life, with your devotion, with your religious faithfulness. And so we also see that holy books often were held to the lips when they were open and closed, also for that same reason. And so again, we have this association between a cross and the lips. So that idea of being sealed with a kiss seems to have also derived from its relationship to Christ, as we see in Christmas. But the O might be the flip side of that. So the next theory, the last theory on where O came from, is that when Jewish immigrants were coming to Ellis Island and needed to sign their names, because a lot of people that were illiterate would sign with an X, and it was the sign of the cross, and it was from sort of a Christian tradition, that instead of doing that, the Jewish immigrants would adopt an O to symbolize, the signature. And so that's how X's and O's came to be paired. So that, we don't really know. The O is the one that's really uncertain. X's, you can kind of see how they developed to have the kiss association from their sort of earlier Christian association. But O is a bit of a mystery.
Do you know, before the X and O, did people sign letters, hugs, and kisses?
The first we see of sort of people signing X and O to letters or X's does seem to date back to the late 1800s. So it seems like it was a cross before it was a kiss. And it really didn't seem to become written on letters like XOXO or XXX until the late 1800s. That's really the first evidence we have for it having made that leap to just sort of a way you sign off things. But even then, it would have been a little more formal than it is now. I mean, now you can have a work email and someone say XOXO, right? It would be more of a big deal, I think, back in the early days. Now it's become very, very casual.
Well, just while we've been having this conversation, it seems like X is used more than any other letter, as far as X marks the spot, or like you just said, XXX means, rated kind of naughty.
Really bad bourbon.
Right. Exactly. Or poison, right? The X is poison. Or also algebraic X.
True.
Right.
I like to forget that one.
X does seem. Yeah, I forget it regularly. But yes, X does seem to have a lot of different meanings that it has taken on. And I think that's just because of how it's evolved in different places and taken on these different meanings, and because it sort of has a little bit of mystery about it. I'm not sure where the algebraic X came from, but I think a lot of that might have to do when it's used mathematically with old ways of sort of marking number systems. And so a lot of it is sort of from the symmetry of the marks. So, for example, the sign of the cross, well, an X looks like a cross, but also when you're, you know, how you take, like I have 5, you'd go 1, 2, 3, 4 with the lines and then cross out the last one. So the sort of relationship to numbers might have developed from the fact that it was used in those calculations.
Okay, somebody on our text line, this is brilliant, says, great, now tell me how they got a football play route with the X's and the O's.
Yeah, I'm definitely not the one you want to be asking with anything football.
Yeah, why is it only prisoners use numbers like that? You know, with the 4 and then the slash through it to, I guess, count how many months they've been in jail.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe, yes. It has more symbolicness, I guess. It looks more, you know, like, okay, I can count the days. I think, you know, one of the things about that way of counting is it actually is more accurate to the passage of days versus if you write 5 days, doesn't seem to feel as much, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you can see every day.
I use it a lot. So does that mean I'm a prisoner? I didn't get that.
Yeah, you're in jail.
Okay.
Or
Sometimes
you
it
just
feels like it.
The days pass. Okay, but I do have a question for you.
Okay.
Do you know who Valentine was?
Oh, Saint Valentine, of course.
Oh, look at you. I'm pretty impressed. Not that many people even related to that. And do you know who Saint Valentine was?
He was the guy that handed Cupid his bow. Wasn't he?
Yeah. Go shoot those people.
Yeah.
Well, it's just funny because we throw around Valentine, but, you know, a lot of people don't even know that it actually was the celebration of Valentine, of St. Valentine, that fell around February 14th, which was the date that the dude named Valentine was killed by Emperor Claudius, the number 2.
Oh.
So it's kind of a bloody Valentine.
I was going to say, is there any love here at all?
I think the love came later. Actually, the interesting story with that is, again, kind of murky. It's like, we're not sure exactly where it came from. But there was also, so Valentine was a Roman saint and martyr from the 3rd century. But before that, there were more pagan celebrations before sort of Christianity came into play. And there was a festival, a fertility festival that fell around the same time as his death. So around, I think it was like the February 13th-ish that fertility festival happened. And it was actually a pretty brutal and bloody fertility festival. They used to kill animals and then beat women with the pelts.
Oh.
Yikes.
Now, if that's not
I just call that Saturday night.
I don't know what would, right?
Ooh, that gets you in the mood.
Yeah, that gets people married.
Exactly. Well, supposedly the women would line up to be beaten because it would make them fertile. So don't try this at home, kids.
No.
But,
Yeah, I was going to say.
And as we've seen a lot of the pagan festivals, the Christians at the time said, well, you know, they're already used to doing this, so we'll just turn it into one of our holidays.
Exactly.
And maybe
stop
beating the women. But Saint Valentine, patron saint of fiancéed couples, love, marriage, plague, epilepsy, and beekeepers. So
wow,
there's your love. Yeah, love of beekeepers. That's perfect.
Oh, very interesting.
One other fun story about Valentine's Day is around the 1400s, Valentine's Day was also the day that they believed that birds found their mates for the year.
Oh.
Birds. Okay.
Yeah, so it was called Valentining, to find your mate. So that might be why it's romanticized. Those birds put us in the mood. You know, the birds and the beads, after all.
Yeah, very true. Valerie, you have done it once again and kept us so interested and slightly entertained. Valerie is the author of Like Literally Dude, Arguing for the Good in Bad English, and she also has a new book coming out soon, Why We Talk Funny, the real story behind our accents. Thank you so much. We'll chat in a couple weeks.
Sounds good.
You've had all these great ideas about what to do with your outside space. Now's the time to take the next step and call Outdoor Living, because Pat Leahy and the gang at Outdoor Living have built a showroom, which is a great resource for you. You can go in and see all the products they have, the composite decking, the metal framing. You see, at Outdoor Living, what they pride themselves on is building it right the first time and never having to worry about it again. So they build it. You can enjoy it for the rest of your life. Outdoor Living, their showroom on Big Bend and I-44 in Kirkwood is a great resource for you. You can go and see all the different ways and all the different things they can do. Then they'll come out, they'll do a site visit, and in just a few short weeks, you will have the dream deck, fence, gazebo, pergola, whatever it may be. Outdoor Living right there in Big Bend and I-44 in Kirkwood. 314-966-3325 or OutdoorLivingInc.com. Check out the showroom and take that next step. You'll love it. Outdoor Living or OutdoorLivingInc.com.
John Beal Roofing has been proudly serving homeowners and businesses in the St. Louis metro area on both sides of the river in Missouri and Illinois for over 3 generations. A dependable roof begins with a team you can count on, and that's exactly what you get with John Beal Roofing. Recognized as one of Roofing Contractor Magazine's top 100 roofing companies, John Beal Roofing offers 24/7 emergency service and industry-leading warranties, including a lifetime workmanship warranty for total peace of mind. From upgrading an aging roof or completing a full replacement, the team at John Beal Roofing delivers solutions that are built to code, built to last, and handled with expert care. John Beal also responds quickly with reliable storm damage services backed by decades of experience and 24/7 emergency support. Get started today for expert service and a free, no obligation estimate by calling 1-800-NEW-ROOF. That's 1-800-NEW-ROOF.
Farmers and ranchers, when it's time to buy or sell ag equipment, think Purple Wave Auction. We're your go-to online marketplace for tractors, combines, sprayers, and more. With our no reserve policy, every item sells to the highest bidder. Experience the Purple Wave difference. Nationwide reach with a local touch. Purple Wave Auction. Whether you're expanding your operation or streamlining your fleet, we've got you covered. Visit purplewave.com today. Fuel your farm with Purple Wave Auction.
Scott, can you believe it's already been more than a decade since the Queen of Carpet sold flooring to St. Louis area contractors?
I know, but I don't have to be a king to offer contractors today's lowest prices.
Yes, contractors owe it to their customers and themselves to shop at Best Buy Flooring for the largest in-stock selection of carpet, carpet tile, sheet vinyl, laminate, hardwood, luxury vinyl plank, and luxury vinyl tile.
Plus 3 convenient locations, North County, South County, and Metro East.
Open 7 days a week. Best flooring, best selection, Best Buy. Best Buy Flooring.
Hey, St. Louis. Eddie McVeigh here from Maggie O'Brien's, reminding everyone that I'm looking forward to seeing you at one of our 2 locations. Whether it be for lunch, happy hour, dinner, or late night, Maggie's is the place to be. Don't forget to catch our shuttle to all the major events downtown. And if you need a banquet room, small or large, for that special occasion, please give us a call at Maggie O'Brien's. Maggie O'Brien's 2 locations on South Lindbergh and Sunset Hills and downtown at the corner of Market and 20th Street. Union Station is next to us.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
8 minutes before 4 o'clock, Captain Paul, how's traffic?
Heidi, the latest is an accident on 270 north before Olive, blocking the 3 right lanes. It's bumper to bumper back to Manchester, and the estimated clearance time is 4:25. 270 south is heavy and stop and go at times from Page down to near 64, and 55 south is running slow from Gasconade to 4500 South Broadway. This traffic report is brought to you by the St. Louis Boat and Fishing Show. It's the premier show for boaters, fishermen, and anybody that loves the outdoors. The St. Louis Boat and Fishing Show at the Americas Center, February 20th through the 22nd. See the boats, pet live stingrays, visit the Cardinal Cowboy, trophy white-tailed deer mounts, and more. Visit stlouisboatshows.com for more info. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Well, Border Czar Tom Homan said this morning the federal government will draw down 700 agents in the Minnesota area. Luke Barr, ABC News law enforcement reporter in Washington, has more on that story. How quickly will we see those agents leave Minnesota?
Yeah, so Tom Homan, the Border Czar, said effective immediately, those agents will leave Minnesota. What that looks like, remains to be seen, but certainly they're leaving now, and there will be 2,000 agents that will remain in Minnesota, and they will get drawn down if the state continues to cooperate with DHS and federal officials.
And Luke, do we know where this just happened because of conversations with the governor? Do we know what led to this?
Yeah, so it remains to be seen. What exactly happened. It appears this is a kind of an off ramp for the administration to get out of Minneapolis. But the border czar Tom Homan said today it's because of the conversations with the state and local leaders. He didn't go into what those conversations are, but he said it's because of the not only the conversations but the cooperation they're getting with ICE and with CBP, on the ground there in Minneapolis.
Yeah. So do we feel like it's probably too early, but getting any reactions, positive or negative, from protesters and folks out in the streets? Is anybody commenting officially or unofficially?
Well, we heard from the governor a couple of hours ago on X, who said basically it's a good first step, but the drawdown isn't happening fast enough. He said not only does he want the drawdown to happen, but he wants it to happen quicker. So that's kind of the response from not only the governor, but the mayor has said something similar. So we're starting to get that reaction. Hey, look, this is a good first step, but we want to get done quicker.
And to say that the drawdown of 700, that implies there's a lot more already there and will be left behind. That's a lot of people. 700 is a lot. How many ICE agents are in Minnesota right now?
Yeah, so at one point, guys, the federal government had the largest, deployment of federal agents in American history in one city.
Wow.
And that was in Minneapolis, up to 3,000 federal agents from HSI, which is sort of the investigative arm, ICE, CBP, all in the Twin Cities. So, it is a lot of manpower in one city. And, as Tom Homan said, they're all coming from different places, right? And they all have, places that are also experiencing crime, right? They might need to investigate. So it is a lot of manpower. 2,000 agents are still going to be there. Now, I guess I just want to put this in perspective. The initial readout from Homan said that the operational plans were 150. Only 150 agents were supposed to be in Minneapolis. And that, of course, ballooned to 3,000. So it just shows you the scale of this and how it got ramped up so quickly.
Yeah. Luke Barr, ABC News law enforcement reporter there in Washington. Thanks for keeping us in the know.
Of course. Thank you, guys.
And just out of curiosity, St. Louis County Police Department has 900 officers. And there was 3,000 federal agents in Minnesota. How did it ever get to that point?
I think there's part of it the sanctuary city, and it's my belief that part of it was Trump demanding quotas, arrest quotas. Now, I could be way off, and if I am, I apologize, but that's the sense I have.
And we did have a News Nation reporter on who was in Minneapolis, and I think I asked her, this was, a couple weeks ago, have you seen any ICE agents? She's, oh, yeah, they're everywhere.
Right.
You see them every day.
Yeah, 3,000 of a certain group, you're going to run into them.
Yeah, they're going to be there.
Wake up, it's a brand new day. Getting your weekday started the St. Louis way. It's the McGraw Show.
It's Carl the Intern, and Thursday on the McGraw Show, the Olympics have started, and we will have somebody who works for the station airing the Olympics. Frank Kusaman.
McGraw Millhaven, Rose Dalton, and Carl the Intern. Weekday morning, 6 to 10.
Right here on your hometown station, the Big 550 KTRS.
I'm Mark Cantor. Here's why you can count on Cantor Injury Law.
My name is Michelle. I'm a litigation paralegal at Cantor Injury Law, and you can count on Cantor because we are smart, honest, and hardworking.
I'm Kevin Glenn, and a partner here at Cantor Injury Law. You can count on Cantor because we make your cause our cause.
No fee if no recovery. Please visit CantorInjuryLaw.com or call us at 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
I'm Reed Millard, president of Lupton Millard Chapel of St. Louis.
We've been faithfully serving St. Louis families for generations. At Lupton Millard Chapel, we understand it's the little things that make a big difference for the families we serve. A traditional church funeral or a unique celebration of life. Providing the finest in services and attention to detail has always been the hallmark of our family.
Lupton Millard Chapel, the leader in excellence since 1905. For more information, go to LuptonMillardChapel.com.
Every year, at least 15,000 people in Missouri die from it, leaving behind children, spouses, mothers, and fathers. It's the #1 killer in Missouri. It's heart disease. There is good news. Heart disease can often be prevented, and the Big 550 wants to help with KTRS Red. All this month, American Heart Month. The Big 550 will help improve your heart health with simple changes you can make now to help lower your risk of developing heart disease. Changes like
losing weight,
learning how to stop smoking,
drinking in moderation, watching what you eat,
and becoming more active.
Don't become a statistic. Become heart healthy all February with KTRS Red. KTRS Red is presented by Schrader Funeral Home and Crematory, McKnight Place, Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services Heart Disease Program, and Wise Woman Program.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Border Czar Tom Homan announced today 700 federal agents are leaving Minnesota. It follows weeks of escalations in the deaths of Alex Preddy and Renee Good shot by federal agents. In an interview with NBC News, President Trump says he ordered the drawdown and was asked about any takeaways from the ongoing ICE and border operations in Minneapolis.
I learned that maybe we can use a little bit of a softer touch, but you still have to be tough. These are criminals. We're dealing with really hard criminals.
There are still 2,000 federal agents in the Twin Cities. They're being outfitted with body cameras. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz called it a start, but pushed for all federal agents to leave. President Trump is doubling down on calls for Republicans to nationalize elections in several states. ABC's Karen Travers says there is pushback from both Democrats and members of his own party.
Senate Majority Leader John Thune said he is not in favor of federalizing elections. Kevin Cramer, another Republican senator, said that still sounds like a bad idea to him. And notably, of course, Democrats are also pushing back.
In Georgia, Fulton County officials filed a motion in federal court asking a judge to order all 2020 election ballots and other items seized by the FBI last week be returned. The county was at the center of President Trump's claims of widespread election fraud. In Arizona, the search for clues continues for the missing mother of NBC Today anchor Savannah Guthrie. Police say Nancy Guthrie was kidnapped from her Tucson home last weekend. Investigators are reviewing evidence and leads.
Investigators in Pima County say, contrary to some reporting, that they have not identified a suspect or even a person of interest in the case, and that they're talking to anybody who may have had contact with Nancy Guthrie. The Sheriff's Department says detectives are working with the Guthrie family closely and they're talking to family members, but they say no suspect or person of interest has been identified in the case.
ABC's Alex Stone, you're listening to ABC News.
We'll admit, we've already thrown in the towel on the New Year's resolution.
Yeah, and we made it through dry January. But one healthy new habit we're sticking with is Active Liver from New Nordic. Did you know your liver works around the clock processing food, sugar, alcohol, and everyday toxins? All things that can really impact your health.
That's why daily support matters. Active Liver is designed to help protect normal liver function and support your body's natural detox process.
With trusted ingredients like milk thistle, turmeric, and artichoke extract, it's gentle enough to take all year long.
No harsh cleanses, no extreme detoxes, just simple daily liver support. We really feel the difference.
Yup, more energy and the peace of mind knowing we can enjoy the good things in life while giving our liver the love it needs.
Active Liver is available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com. Or you can find it in stores at CVS, Meijer Grocery, Wegmans, and now Active Liver is available at your local GNC.
This is KTRS News. I'm Sobe Bay. 2 people, including a police officer, were transported to the hospital this morning following a crash. According to the St. Louis County Police Department, a Central County Precinct officer was involved in a crash at Earth City Expressway and Ryder Trail South while responding to another nearby incident. The officer was transported to the hospital, conscious and alert. The driver of the other vehicle was also transported to the hospital, but with life-threatening injuries. Police are investigating after a man was killed in a shooting early this morning in North St. Louis. The shooting happened around 1:35 this morning in the 1200 block of Peggy Court in the city's Baden neighborhood. When police arrived on the scene, officers initially could not locate the victim, but later found him dead inside of the home with a gunshot wound. Details about potential suspects remain unclear. This is the city of St. Louis's 11th murder so far this year, matching the number reported around this time last year. More on the city's homicide rate from KTRS's Jill Enders.
The city of St. Louis ended the month of January with 7 homicides, the fewest since 2011. There are currently 11 homicides so far in 2026. That's the same number at this time a year ago. Now, during this time frame in 2024, the homicide count was 24. Jill Enders, KTRS News.
St. Louis County will hold a town hall on an initiative to save lives now. This initiative aims to reduce shootings and homicides by 20% over a 3-year period through a coordinated evidence-based approach. The town hall will be held tomorrow night from 6 until 7:30 at the Clark Family Branch of the St. Louis County Library. February is Earthquake Awareness Month, and as KTRS's Steve Potter reports, both Missouri and Illinois residents are urged to prepare.
Experts say that earthquakes in our region warrant special attention due to the new Madrid zone in southeast Missouri, which in 1811 and 12 generated some of the most powerful quakes in American history, destroying buildings, ringing church bells in both states hundreds of miles away, and causing the Mississippi River to briefly flow backward. You may have heard PSAs like this one, released from the Ad Council.
When the earth shakes, the ground moves, and things start to fall, you'll ask yourself, how prepared or unprepared are you?
Informational videos that explain what to do in the event of an earthquake can be found on Missouri's State Emergency Management Agency website. Steve Potter, KTRS News.
The St. Louis Housing Authority has been awarded $9.5 million in funding from the Missouri Housing Development Commission to support a comprehensive $54 million renovation of the Parkview elderly apartments in the Central West End. The renovation will address structural, aesthetic, and functional needs across the development. That was our KTRS Business Minute, brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll Florist wants to help you show your loved one how much you care this Valentine's Day with hand-delivered flowers. Send a sweet surprise with one of their head-turning arrangements or gift sets. They have wonderful selections ready to say I love you this Valentine's Day and every day. Trust Walter Knoll Florist to deliver your Valentine's Day gift. Go to WKF.com. And now let's look at the markets, brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune in to Straight Talk on Retirement, Saturday mornings 9 to 11. Wall Street at the close, Dow Jones jumped 260 points to finish at 49,501. NASDAQ dropped 350 to close out at 22,904. S&P 500 fell 35 points to finish the day at 6,882. Now let's get a check of sports and traffic with Captain Paul Kopsky.
Sobe, the Blues are in Dallas this evening to take on the Stars, their final game before the Olympic break. The note fell 4-3 to the Stars at home a little more than a week ago. And fifth-ranked Illinois basketball is home tonight against in-state rival Northwestern. The Illini will be looking for the season sweep against the Wildcats and 12 wins in a row overall on the season. I'm Paul Kopsky from the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk, and now on to traffic. An accident on 270 North before Olive is blocking the 3 right lanes with a bumper-to-bumper jam all the way back to Manchester. Estimated clearance time is 4:25. 270 South is crowded from north of Olive down to Ladue Road, and 55 South is running slow from south of Arsenal to 4500 South Broadway. This traffic report is brought to you by the HBR Home Expo. Got home projects on your mind? Head to the HBR Home Expo, February 27th, 28th, and March 1st. Meet hundreds of experts. Enjoy hands-on DIY Cocadema classes, plus free admission and free parking. The HBR Home Expo. Everything for your home, all in one place. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550, KTRS.
Thank you, Captain Paul. KTRS weather. Today is our coldest day for the next 7 days. We had a high today of 33. Tonight, cloudy, overnight low of 17, and tomorrow, warming trend begins. Cloudy, high of 42, and then Friday, partly cloudy, high near 50. Weekend temperatures will be in the 40s, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week, we're back over 50. But right now, we have 32 degrees. The time is 4:08. I'm Sobe Bay, KTRS News, the Talk of St. Louis.
It's the half-price sale at Miller Furniture and Mattress, going on now through February 18th.
I'm Mark Miller, owner of Miller Furniture, your home for quality American-made furniture since 1927. Right now, save half off our list price on all in-stock items. Plus, half off custom orders on Flex Steel, Smith Brothers, Amish-made furniture, and more. Plus, get 60 months special financing.
Right now, take half off any Chatham & Wells mattress when you purchase an adjustable base. Plus, up to $800 off select adjustable mattress sets from Stearns & Foster and Tempur-Pedic.
For every mattress sold, Miller will donate a bike helmet to Helmets First to keep St. Louis kids safe. Hurry in and try out Flex Steel's newest custom comfort sofas and lift chairs and the largest selection of Amish-made furniture. Visit any of our 4 locations in Belleville, Fairview Heights, Lake St. Louis, or Ellisville. Don't miss the half-price sale at Miller Furniture now through February 18th. At Miller Furniture, we put the family in furniture.
Before you put your home on the market, before you have to pay money fixing it up to sell it, before you have to pay real estate commissions, call me. I'm Mike Robinson with Robank Properties, and I will buy your home. Any property, any condition, anywhere, and always as is. Call me, Mike Robinson with Robank Properties at 314-283-0867. That's 314-283-0867. You have nothing to lose when you call Robank Properties at 314-283-0867.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Our headlines for this Wednesday afternoon, February 4th, new family entertainment complex coming to Fenton. Wow Entertainment will have a variety of games, food, and drinks, making the spot great for all ages. It's slated to open later this month on Fiedler Lane.
Fiedler.
Families will choose their own adventure in the 27,000 square foot 2-level space. It will offer duck pin bowling. How about this? Curling, just in time for the Olympics.
Curling.
Mini golf, golf simulators, karaoke, virtual reality. There'll be a scratch kitchen, mocktails, and flexible event spaces. They also aim to be budget friendly. A manager told St. Louis Magazine, "We want families to leave saying they had an amazing time, great food, and they didn't break the bank." The attractions are designed so kids, teens, and adults can play side by side or split off and reconvene later. Parents can grab a drink or a bite while keeping an eye on the action, and older kids can kind of roam with friends as long as an adult is present on the site. So, looks fun.
Right by my house.
See?
Yeah.
All
right
right.
by my house and across the street from Emo's.
What's it called again?
Wow.
Wow. Okay, I need to look this up. All of these places are right in my wheelhouse. The best one I've found so far, it's called Lava Island.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the old Steinmart in Rock Hill.
Lava Island.
Lava Island. It's a tropical theme, Bob, and there's a giant slide that looks like you're coming down a lava flow.
I think, I don't
off
know
the
if
top
it's
of volcano.
open yet. There's like a digging one where kids can go. Have you been there?
Can't wait to go to the digging one.
That looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. There's a lot going on in that space right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think we'll go, even though we don't have little kids anymore.
Oh,
We'll
it's
just go
still
just to
fun.
report on it.
You can watch Finn, and me and my wife will go have a nice adult dinner.
Oh, there you go.
Come on, we'll eat over there and we'll just hang out and watch Finn go nuts.
Okay,
it'll be great.
Yeah, I'll bring him by.
Well, this is not one we typically do, but all three of us like sports a lot, and I know all the listeners are huge sports fans. But the Washington Post, the legendary newspaper, is closing its sports department.
Which is crazy.
It's insane. The Washington Post announced, as widely expected, significant layoffs today, with entire departments being shuttered. The Post is shutting down the sports desk in its current form. Now, what does that mean? Well, going forward, the Washington Post will cover sports simply as a, quote, cultural phenomenon. What does that mean even?
I don't know.
Are they going to get the editors from the style section to move over and do sports now?
You know what? You say that with kind of a tongue in cheek, but that's kind of the way things work.
It does, and I got to tell you, to be honest, even though the three of us are sports advocates, we carry a ton of sports here on the Big 550. When I was doing all sports radio, we had consultants and a programmer come in and say, hey, look, you got to remember, only 20% of people are hardcore sports fans. How can you increase that number here and bring them in and, maybe not be hardcore sports all the time?
Yeah, some of the other, like Josh's stories about the jerseys.
Yeah.
And the favorite colors.
Those are my favorite stories.
Yeah.
Don't teach me the X's and O's, the hugs and kisses.
So,
absolutely.
So impacted employees will receive an email. That's really touchy-feely.
I think we're going to see that among broadcasters and print all over.
You got an email, hey, don't come in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Bob, I was talking to you last week. Washington Post announced that the people who were planning to head to Cortina and Milan this week for the Olympics, they said, we're not sending anyone anymore. And then a week later, now they said, we're not even going to have a sports department
no sports
anymore.
Department. So here's what they said. You see if you can interpret it for me. The need has never been more urgent to reposition the Post. A more flexible, sustainable model will help us better navigate unprecedented volatility, competition, technological change, news consumption habits, and cost pressure.
I hate when they send out press releases like that, because what does that mean?
Means we're losing money. We gotta figure something
and we're
out.
going to, cut back somewhere.
Now, the Washington Post, the paper of record, I told Bob last week, they kind of are like a New York Times, where, yes, they are a Washington, D.C. newspaper, but they kind of write stories for the entire country to read. And now
they've garnered a reputation, rightfully so. They've created that.
Yes. Yep. But now they can't even cover the teams that actually play in Washington, D.C. Who's going to cover the Wizards and the Nationals and the Commanders?
Sure there'll be great stories next week about the best Super Bowl parties.
Yeah.
And commercials.
Right. And to Heidi's point, you see all the time people that were, doing music reviews are now doing, sitting on the news desk.
Well, I can give you local examples. Meteorologists are now, especially when they're hired, maybe they're going to be a reporter part of the time. They're being asked to split shifts. Even back when Ryan Dean was here, he was kind of reporting and then occasionally he'd do sports. So it's been happening for a while. And if they can cut costs this way, you're going to see it more.
And I would always say, why would you move from the entertainment desk and go to the murder desk? And the answer is, well, do you want a job or
Keep
not?
your job.
That's right.
Yeah.
So interesting. And I think we'll have to get, because that paper in Pittsburgh that just closed. The only newspaper.
The Post-Gazette.
Yeah.
In Pittsburgh closed. So what's the future of newspapers?
And somebody's pointing out they can use AI to write articles and only have editors review them. And there is something true.
Say it ain't so.
Oh, that's a good point.
All right. Jingle. Remember Jingle? This was the holiday event in O'Fallon at the Car Shield, formerly T.R. Hughes Ballpark.
I don't remember it by name.
It was that it had ice skating and sledding and hot cocoa.
Oh, it
with
wasn't
alcohol.
just a pop-up like bar. It was a lot of things.
It was a pop-up kind of
Winter fun thing.
winter festival.
Yeah.
And then people started speaking out about it and how bad it was, and people stopped going. This was in 2024. The CEO of the now defunct Jingle has filed for bankruptcy, leaving hundreds of employees still waiting on their final paychecks. 200 employees are owed almost $150 in wages. Some are waiting on paychecks as small as $78. Others are out thousands, not to mention the $1 million for the vendors. Not just the employees, but the vendors. One vendor said that they were supposed to run the VIP cocktail section, and they lost $30,000. That's real money.
That's big money.
For a catering company?
Absolutely. And it might be an entire budget.
So it was a weekend. We were supposed to go on Finn's birthday weekend, and they actually canceled it because there was an ice storm. And then all of a sudden, these stories started coming out saying they don't even have the ice skating here yet. They say it's going to be a couple of weeks. Everything you had, once you got there, you had to pay extra on top of the admission price.
Boy.
Jingle had budgeted for 120,000 visitors over 6 weeks at the O'Fallon ballpark. Only 45,000 came. That was because of the terrible reviews they were getting online. And the guy's $5 million in debt. So we'll see if the workers, they're kind of joining together to try to push to make them pay, but they have $200 in their bank account.
Yeah.
Where are they going to get the
Where
money?
are you going to get it?
Kind of sounds like those guys that were doing the concert at the island.
Oh, yeah.
What was the name of that?
Fire Island?
Fire Fest.
Fire Fest.
Rib Fest here in town went under. We don't see that anymore.
Oh.
It's just these people try to put on these big festivals. Remember that Willy Wonka thing over in England that was supposed to be?
But are you sure Rib Fest went under? Or don't forget, a lot of those downtown things got moved out because the city made a deal that knocked out Taste of St. Louis, knocked out. There were a lot of weird things. So I don't know what came first on that.
We had a Rib Festival out. They moved out to Newtown for a couple of years. And then,
but it was the same one?
Same one. And then now we don't hear from them anymore.
Because you Newtown people.
I was going to say, who's coming out there?
We ruined it.
You and Carney.
Carney ruined it.
Hey, we're going to talk to Lauren Risley here in a second. And I will tell you this. She texted me the other day. She goes, tell me more about Iceland. And I'm like, how about you join me? And we'll both go to this meet and greet with the folks of Colette. That's Wednesday, February 11th at 6 at the Altair Travel living room.
Bob, she invited Lauren, but I'm still waiting.
Well, I was going to say something. I didn't want to interrupt the star of the show, but I got to tell you, the hurt is there.
You guys, I invite you every single day. I mentioned Iceland. I invite every single person listening. So that is not true.
Somebody has to work, though.
What we're doing. We are going to Iceland, and I hope that I wish both of you would go. I wish each of you listening would go.
I just want to hear it. Okay.
You don't really want to go. No. You just want to be invited.
Oh, no, I really want to go.
Deal. That's my deal.
The boss said, Josh, you're not going.
Well, it's going to be incredible. We're talking about the land of fire and ice. And if you don't go, you're going to be missing out because we're going to have so much fun. Of course, we've got all the fun experiences. But then it's also like when we get back to the hotel and we have happy hour, we all get to know each other a little bit. You might get there and be strangers, but I swear to you, by the first night after we've had that second glass of wine, we're going to know so much about each other. Colette handles all the, details, the heavy lifting, the flights, the meals, the hotels, the local tours. You just join me and have the time of your life. So again, we're going to do this meet and greet February 11th. That's next Wednesday, 6 o'clock at the Altair Travel Living Room. You can RSVP. Doesn't cost you anything. You just show up and learn more. Altair Travel, 314-968-9600, or you can go to ktrs.com to learn more. The actual trip isn't until October 23rd, so just join us, learn a little bit more, and then you can think about it if you want.
Hey, it's Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. When winter hits St. Louis, your furnace doesn't get a day off, and if yours is older, it may be running nonstop and still not keeping you comfortable. Winter has a way of exposing weak links. You're probably paying more and getting less. Or if your home never quite feels warm enough in the winter, your furnace may be telling you something else, especially if it's been around for a while. That's why I want you to call Premier Heating and Cooling. Their technicians go through 5 years of training beyond industry standards. It's Premier standards. Heating your home shouldn't feel like a struggle. Older furnaces work harder and use more energy. If you want lower energy bills and better heat, it's just all around smarter to consider a new furnace. And yes, Premier offers financing, which makes upgrading a whole lot easier. So whether you need a tune-up or you're ready for something new, make your winter a lot more comfortable for your home or your business. Call 636-916-1122. PremierHeatingCooling.net. Comfort you can count on.
She's a lady. Whoa, whoa, whoa. She's a lady. I'm talking about my little lady. And that lady's all mine. Hi, folks. This is Tony Viviano, and I want to invite you to attend my Valentine Day dinner dance concert at Fallon's, Ellisville, Missouri, Saturday, February 14th. Enjoy a 4-course exceptional dinner, all timeless love songs, and a long stem rose for every lady. For more information, visit TonyViviano.com.
With over 30 years of experience in top-quality senior living, McKnight Place Assisted Living knows how to help its residents live fulfilling lives. The professional staff gets to know all residents and their families. McKnight Place Assisted Living has become known for its high-quality amenities, personalized services, and expert care. But its history of making people a priority is what really sets it apart from many other senior communities. That starts with the residents and extends to their loved ones. 314-993-3333. Or visit them at McKnightPlace.com.
Kick off the season with a winning team. Choose Hackett Security to watch your home while you're watching the game. Hackett Security has a system to meet every budget. They are a locally owned national security company with on-site 24/7 UL listed monitoring. Visit HackettSecurity.com or call 314-432-4200. Who will be watching your home while you're watching the game? Hackett Security. They're looking out for you. 314-432-4200. HACKETT Security.com.
Mom, what do you always say?
There's nothing sadder than jewelry that sits in a drawer.
That's why we are proud to offer jewelry repair on site at Newsetter's Fine Jewelry. We know that your jewelry is important to you, and we take that part of our job very seriously. Visit us at Doherty Ferry in Big Bend or learn more at wowdiamonds.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Our house in the middle of our streets. Our house in the middle of our house.
Well, I don't know about where you are, but there is still snow on the ground in front of my house, back towards the garage. So is now really a great time to be looking for a new house or listing your home? Thankfully, we have Lauren Risley, founder of Lauren Risley Realty, on speed dial, and she's back to talk about just that. How are you? I know there's no snow where you are.
There is no snow where I'm at. Although I wouldn't be surprised if Myrtle Beach got snow.
That's true. The world is a-changing. It's kind of shocking where you'll find snow.
It's 82 degrees here today, which it kind of bothers me when the local people complain about how hot it is.
Yeah.
You know? Like they say, like, oddly, the house that I'm staying at here, the neighbors are from Chesterfield. Wild.
Oh, my
right?
God. It is such a small world, isn't it?
I'm in northern San Diego, and my next door neighbors, directly next door, Hillary and Scott, who I'm having dinner with this evening, are from Chesterfield, Missouri.
Oh, my gosh. How did you guys stumble upon that?
So every January I come out here, and I rent the same house, and my car, Missouri license plate. So they're like, you're from Missouri. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, we're from this place called St. Louis. And I'm like, yeah, I'm like, yeah, I know St. Louis. I live there. And they're like, oh, you do? Well, where at? And I'm like, in St. Louis. And they're like, but where? And I'm like, you're not going to know. And then I said, in St. Louis City. They're like, well, we're from Chesterfield.
Oh, my gosh. I do love those stories so much.
Well, and like I'm not kidding, 1 in every 3 people I meet here has some connection to St. Louis. I went to a dinner party a couple weeks ago, and a dinner party sounds really fancy. It was dinner and a poker night at someone's house.
Did you win?
Heidi, of course I won.
I love it.
By luck, though, because I didn't really know how to play. Thankfully, neither did anyone else. But she's like, do you know where the Lake of the Ozarks is? You know, it's just so funny. She's like, and then we went to this place. It's called like, I don't know, it's really historic, and there's like a king. And I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. She's like, there's cobblestones. I'm like, St. Charles? St. Charles, yes, that's it. That's it. I was like, I don't know who the king is, but geez.
The king is me, Lauren.
Oh.
That's true. Well, she didn't say Newtown. She said St. Charles, which I know Newtown's in St. Charles, but
yeah,
you can't be the king of both, Josh.
No, king of everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so is now a good time to list your home or to be looking, or should you just kind of wait till it's a little warmer?
Yeah, so, you know, the way that we answer that question when people ask, truthfully, the best time for you to buy or sell is when you need to buy or sell, right? So there's never a good time to do anything that's one of the largest things that you're ever going to do in your life, right? So for sellers, I've heard, well, I'll get more in the spring.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. And for buyers, they're like, there's more inventory in the spring. And while neither of those things are incorrect, from a seller standpoint, I bet you if I pulled up the majority of addresses right now for someone considering selling, and I looked up comparables, comps, and I pulled up a quarter of a mile and a half a mile, there might be 1 or 2 listings or there might be none.
Huh.
So if you have a buyer that needs to buy right now, you're the only house that fits their criteria that's on the market. So you don't have to shine and look better than 10 other houses.
So it does kind of play in your advantage to a point.
Yeah, I mean, if your house is ready to be sold and you have a need to sell, we closed just as many deals. We've closed 12 deals in January. You know what I mean? And that means that they went under contract probably in December between Thanksgiving and Christmas, which is really the slowest time just because of holiday parties and things like that. But people are always needing to buy and sell. And for buyers, they're like, well, I want to wait till the spring till there's more inventory. Mm-hmm. It's like, great, but so does everybody else.
Yeah. So you could maybe be ahead of the game.
Yeah, you have, if you're out there and you don't have competition with a lot of other buyers, then you can see it's kind of a wash, because someone did ask, well, then who has more of the advantage, the buyer or seller? And it's like, well, if we have a seller and there's no competition, we can list at the higher end of the comps, because they're not going to go, well, these other two are 10,000 less and nicer. No, there's nothing to compare it to, right? So we can list it a little bit higher. And for a buyer, if there's no competition, then we can negotiate that deal a little bit better for you, right? So, it just really depends on what your situation is. Adam is absolutely sure that the spring market has hit. He is always the third week of January is his Super Bowl. That's where he says he sees the market do an immediate shift.
Really?
So do you recommend to people, if you're trying to sell your home, are there any different rules or things you should do when there's a few inches of snow on the ground and everything's closed up trying to stay warm, or is it business as usual?
No, obviously you want to shovel your driveway. You want to make things look as nice as possible. If the buyers have to climb, through snow to get to your front door, they're probably going to be frustrated before they even make it inside. So, making it easy, having the heat set, if you're looking to save on your bills and you have it set a little bit lower and you just wear a sweater in the house, well, if you have a showing, maybe crank that up a little bit, make it feel comfy and cozy.
Oh, great idea.
But, just kind of the same things we'd recommend any time of the year, like just have your house show in the best light, right?
Yeah.
So we do get that a lot. Like, should I wait till spring? And it's like the best time for you to buy is when you're ready to buy. People look, same thing with interest rates. I think a lot of what we do is psychology, right? People want to buy if the rates drop into the high five, you will see a huge influx of buyers. You're going to see people who have maybe wanted to buy for the last 5 years, but they're content where they're at. They're going to go buy.
Yeah, but then what about inventory?
But then there's so much inventory, then they're going to get in a multiple offer situation. They're going to pay $10,000, $15,000, $25,000 over asking. And it's like, you know what? You actually would have saved more money over a 10-year period of time, for sure, a 30-year period of time, if you bought at a higher interest rate.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And you can always refinance.
You can always refinance it. And I do think, so, maybe we jump into this ring of fire next week, but, there are some things happening right now with interest rates. In December, I was pretty sure that interest rates would drop into the high fives, the low sixes, high fives. They're in the mid sixes right now. I do still feel like that is something that is likely to happen in the next few months. And for those people who purchased, at high sixes, 7%, it'll be a great time to refinance. But there are some things going on in the government and in our economy that could change that over time, over this year. But when nothing's going on, that's kind of a good thing.
Yeah. That's a great reminder as far as that goes. Somebody on the text line from the 314 said they put their house on the market last Wednesday, got 6 offers, and got $27,000 over listing.
There you go.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
there you go.
Fantastic.
Because
yes, go ahead.
When we have, sorry about that, but when we have something in like the busiest time of the year, when we have a seller, we don't go into a listing and go, hey, your house is worth this exact number.
Right.
It's, hey, here are the comps. Here's what's active right now. Your house is probably worth somewhere. It's worth what a buyer's willing to pay, but it's worth somewhere between $300 and $325. So then we look at what's active, and We had a condo last year that was worth $295,000 every day of the week. Inside of that same complex, someone listed the same floor plan for $210,000.
Wow.
And they were an out-of-state person. Someone in their family passed away. They inherited the house. They didn't want to deal with it. They wanted it sold.
And they left $80,000 on the table?
Well, they didn't hire us, so yeah, But no, so we took ours off the market. We were on for about 5 days. We took it off the market because we're like, look, you're either going to get offers at $210,000 or we go off the market, right? Because everyone that comes to see yours is going to see theirs, and yours is $85,000 more, and we don't get to tell that story of why theirs is less, right?
Right.
So we need theirs to get sold before we can sell yours. So, like, what goes on in the environment, other active listings, things like that play a really big role in what your house is worth. So, there's a million things that go into it. Yeah, that person left a lot of money on the table by just wanting to get rid of it. We ended up listing ours and selling ours for, I think, $280,000, but we took it off the market for 4 months.
Yeah.
So, that obviously cost our seller the holding cost of having it, but it got them more money in the long run. So
that's why, you need to work with a real estate agent, because there are so many tactics, like you just mentioned. Of course, a lot of what we talk about here, you and Adam talk about on Call the Closer with Lauren Risley Realty. It airs right here on the Big 550 KTRS Sundays at 1. And if you're in the market to buy or sell a home, or you just have a question, because
knowledge is power.
Yeah, call Lauren Risley Realty, 314-775-0684. You can also email her at hello@laurenrisleyrealty.com. Lauren, thank you so much. Enjoy your dinner with those Chesterfield folks.
Oh, I will. I'll see you next week.
All right, sounds good. All right, it's 4:35. Captain Paul, how's traffic?
Friday, we have 2 active accidents. The latest is a crash on 55 South past 44. An accident on 270 North before Olive is blocking the right lane with a bumper-to-bumper jam back to Manchester. 270 South is crowded from north of Olive down to Ladue Road. 64 West is busy from Kings Highway to Hampton. 64 East bugs down at 170. And 55 South is running slow from Gasconade to 4500 South Broadway. This traffic report is brought to you by Dents Express. Drive time can be hectic with traffic, weather, and fender benders. Dents Express can help with hassle-free dent removal, minor collision repair, and hail damage repair. Free evaluations, and they take care of the insurance paperwork. They've got 2 locations on Manchester and Baldwin and in St. Charles. DentsExpressSTL.com. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Stay connected with the Big 550 KTRS. Streaming 24/7 online at KTRS.com or on the KTRS app. Powered by JBL Financial. Stream Straight Talk on Retirement every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m.
St. Louis Ambush Indoor Soccer is back this Saturday at the Family Arena to take on the Tacoma Stars at 6:05 p.m. It's alumni night as we welcome back all the past indoor stars you know. And at halftime, we will retire Mark Moser's jersey number 15, the all-time Ambush leading goal scorer, and unveil the banner in the rafters. Make your plans now for this Saturday and get there early to get your Mark Moser poster presented by the Big 550 KTRS Radio. Tickets available at the Family Arena box office or at Ticketmaster.com. STLambush.com.
You've had all these great ideas about what to do with your outside space. Now's the time to take the next step and call Outdoor Living, because Pat Leahy and the gang at Outdoor Living have built a showroom, which is a great resource for you. You can go in and see all the products they have, the composite decking, the metal framing. You see, at Outdoor Living, what they pride themselves on is building it right the first time and never having to worry about it again. So they build it. You can enjoy it for the rest of your life. Outdoor Living, their showroom on Big Bend and I-44 in Kirkwood, is a great resource for you. You can go and see all the different ways and all the different things they can do. Then they'll come out, they'll do a site visit, and in just a few short weeks, you will have the dream deck, fence, gazebo, pergola, whatever it may be. Outdoor Living, right there in Big Bend and I-44 in Kirkwood. 314-966-3325 or OutdoorLivingInc.com. Check out the showroom and take that next step. You'll love it. Outdoor Living or OutdoorLivingInc.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days. The weekend comes, my cycle hums, ready to race to you. These days are
The Grammys were awarded Sunday to the best in music, but one area of music we all know is often left out. Our favorite correspondent at CBS Sunday Morning, David Pogue, did a story about TV theme songs, and we're so happy to have him back with us. I loved this story.
So did I. I would have done this one for free.
Yeah, well, I mean, because you also have a background in music, right?
That's exactly right. So I could sit down and see musically what these composers were doing.
Yeah, but to start, I mean, back in the beginning of TV theme songs, they really had more of a purpose than they do today.
Yeah, I was mind blown when we talked to our experts who's written a book on TV music that TV shows, when they first dawned in the 40s and 50s, like nobody knew what a TV show is supposed to be. So they borrowed from theater. Like when you go to see a show, there's an overture before the show starts, and then there's exit music at the end. So they're like, I guess we'll do that for TV shows. And that's how the opening theme came from.
And I know oftentimes the theme song kind of set up the story, but for me, it was also a cue. It's time to come in from whatever room you're doing because the show's starting. Get on the couch, get ready.
Yeah, that's true. It serves multiple purposes. I thought it was funny how many of the classic theme songs begin not just by setting up the story of the show, but by telling you it's a story. It's a story of an ending great.
Right. Yeah, if I'd never seen an episode, I would know what's going on.
The concept.
Yeah.
Exactly. Or Beverly Hillbillies, let me tell you all a story about, or Gilligan's Island, listen to the something tale. It's all about, this is a story. Get it?
Yes, I have to say, I have that CD of the best TV theme songs from the 70s and 80s, but what was it about that era where they were just so good?
Part of it was that they crossed over into the popular realm. I mean, a lot of these songs would make it onto the radio, which definitely does not happen anymore. But there was big dollars to be made if you wrote a TV theme that crossed over.
Yeah, David, kind of a two-parter, but just to follow up, I immediately, when we knew we were going to talk to you, I thought Hawaii Five-0 and Rockford Files, and both were hits on the radio. But as you did this story and kind of did the research, you got a popular show and a popular theme song. How are they connected? Does one lead to the other? Do you know what I mean? How does that work? For instance, we've never heard of any theme songs from bad TV shows.
Ah, right. Well, that's interesting. So I interviewed this guy, Charlie Fox, who wrote the theme songs for Happy Days, Love Boat, Laverne and Shirley, Wonder Woman, Love American Style, like this one guy, Charlie Fox. And I asked him that. I'm like, how is it possible that one guy had so many great hit themes? And he says, because all the ones I wrote that tanked, you've never heard of.
Yes. This is the answer to the question.
Yeah. And he said, my favorite one I ever wrote was for Newman's Drugs. I'm like, what the hell is that? He's like, exactly.
Wow.
But this guy, Charlie Fox, he also wrote Killing Me Softly. So he's done, pop hits as well. Did he ever say, you know what, I'm making more money on the TV shows, though?
I didn't ask him about the financial aspect, but what I did ask him is it weird? Because, of course, the arc of TV themes and the arc of my story was that TV themes got shorter and shorter in the 80s and 90s. I mean, by the time Lost came along, it was a single chord, like 5 seconds long. And so the kind of songs that he wrote with lyrics and telling a story and a minute and a half long, those were all gone. And I said, does it bother you now that you're 85 to be known as the guy who wrote the long gone TV theme songs. And he said, no, because I also write pop songs. I also write musicals and operas, and he's written many film scores. So to him, this was just a sideline anyway.
Yeah. And they got shorter, but then as you kind of share in the story, now we have certain shows like Succession or House of Cards, and there's beautiful compositions. And I have to say, I don't ever hit the skip button on those because I feel like it adds to like the suspense, or it gets you kind of in the mood for it.
Well, you would be beloved by the experts I spoke to. They cannot stand the skip intro button. They're like, it's part of the show. They were hilarious. But it's true because of streaming and because of HBO with the budget and the time, they now have a minute and a half, 2 minutes again for Game of Thrones or Severance or whatever to bring back really good theme songs. Now, they tend not to be sung like the old days. They tend to be instrumental. But as you say, they're really good pieces of music, and they're paired with these incredible visuals, cool computer-generated animations for Westworld or Game of Thrones. So theme songs, in a way, are back.
And David, is part of that we're kind of in this golden era of TV, and it's almost like comparable to movies, and they're trying to make it feel even bigger?
I think so. I think prestige TV is the key. That and streaming. Like although you and I don't use the skip intro button, lots of people do, and the beauty of it is that it makes it up to the viewer to decide whether they're going to sit through the minute and a half or not. So people who do appreciate the genius of these compositions can listen, but the network doesn't have to worry that they're going to lose you to some other show because you can skip it if you want.
Yeah.
So I watched the Game of Thrones intro. It's a great song, but with the graphics and everything, it kind of reminds you where in the story you are. So I always thought that was clever way to not skip through it. But Seinfeld has a theme song, but halfway through the run of the show, they got rid of it. They just started walking down the street telling a joke. How I Met Your Mother has a theme song, but it's 15 seconds long. Did you find out in your reporting why the theme song kind of went away in the late 90s?
Yes, and it has to do with your government. The FCC used to dictate how much of an hour of TV could be dedicated to ads, and there was a limit. And then in the late 80s, they said, you know what, no longer is there a limit. And all of a sudden, there were many more ads per hour of TV. It went up from something like from every half hour now is 18 or 19 minutes of television, and it used to be more like 24 minutes of television. So because of that, they had to make room for the ads, and that involved cutting down the amount of time they could dedicate to the introduction. So that was a huge factor.
Huh.
David, I have a theory on the theme skipping, and I think it might have to do with many people, not across the board, but many people binge watching. All right, I've seen it. I'm going to the next episode. I've seen it. I'm going to the next episode where you're doing 2-3 hours worth. You don't need to see it every single episode. And but then I watch some things like on Paramount Plus, and they still do the once a week drop. And sometimes I watch a theme, and then, admittedly, sometimes I don't.
Yeah, in fact, I've seen the software on Netflix, for example, and I believe Apple TV, and probably the others, where if you are binge watching and you're rolling from one episode into the next, it automatically skips the intro because they know you've just seen it.
Interesting.
Yeah. David, when you were talking to all these experts, can everybody agree that there's one theme song that is the ultimate best?
I mean, it depends on which era, but a lot of people really, really loved Brady Bunch and Beverly Hillbillies. I mean, they were just funny and interesting and classic. Those come up a lot.
I get that.
And I can look this up if you don't know it, but do we know which TV theme song sold the best at the record stores?
That I really don't know. It's a good one.
All right. I'll look at, hey, I'm going to bet Bob $5 that it was the Miami Vice theme song.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's my guess.
Just to have another bet, I'll say Hawaii 5-0.
Okay.
And see, I was going to say Great American Hero.
Believe it or not.
Believe it or not, I'm walking on
That's a
air.
good call.
Yes. Great one.
Well, yesterday we were supposed to talk to David, but he was held up because he was at Steve Wozniak's house, childhood home.
Interesting.
The co-founder of Apple, and David was at his childhood home doing a piece for CBS Sunday Morning. David, can you tell us why you were interviewing the co-founder of Apple?
Why, you just handed me this on a silver platter, didn't you?
I did.
Yes, I have just spent the last 2 years of my life writing a book. It is 600 pages long.
What?
Called Apple, the First 50 Years, because in April they are celebrating their 50th anniversary.
Oh, my.
And that book comes out soon. And so to sort of go with the release of the book on March 10th, I'm doing a story for Sunday Morning about Apple's first 50 years. And that involved interviewing its co-founder, Wozniak, and some other greats from the story.
What is his personality like?
You know, Woz is often described as a teddy bear. He is childlike and generous and funny. He loves pranks above all. Oh my God! As you'll see this in the story because I'm going to leave it in. He said, "You know, I've been getting into hockey. Like I'm playing hockey."
What?
Like, you are? Yeah. And like, dude, you're in your 70s, and he splits into this ear-to-ear grin, and half his teeth are missing.
See, I thought you were going to say like air hockey, but he's really playing hockey.
No, he's not. It was a prank on me because he was wearing a fake teeth thing. That made him look like
that is so good.
He actually seems like the opposite of Steve Jobs.
In many ways, he is the absolute opposite and opposite of all the tech bros. I mean, look, Woz is rich. He's not hurting for money, but he is so generous. He's given away money his entire career. He funded the Silicon Valley Ballet and started a children's tech museum. And, you know, he uses his money all the time for other people. It's just an amazing, shockingly different slant from most tech executives who just want more money, more money, more money.
Well, we're going to get you back on the show when the book comes out, and we'll find out more about the piece that you did for Sunday Morning. But you were telling me off the air that we love you, David Pogue. The listeners love you. And if we wanted to get our hands on the book, we could pre-order it and get a special surprise.
Well, yes. Here's an offer I'm making just to your listeners. Don't tell anyone.
Here we go for the next 20 minutes.
If anyone does want to pre-order this book, it's called Apple, the First 50 Years. I can't come to your house to sign it. But what I will do is I will autograph, custom to you with your name, a book plate, which is the fancy word for a sticker. And I will mail it to you in an envelope to your house, and you can stick it into the book when you get the book.
Oh, that's cool.
So all you got to do is go to applefirst50.com, and you'll see a big thing there. Click here to get a book plate, and just give me your address and a picture of the receipt, and I will handwrite this sticker for you.
Cool idea.
Yeah, we are looking forward to reading that. We always look forward to your stories on CBS Sunday Morning. David Pogue, thank you so much.
You're very kind. Thank you so much.
8 minutes before 5 o'clock, we're going to check in with Alex Stone, see if anything has changed in this Nancy Guthrie case. But first, let's check back in with Captain Paul.
Heidi, the latest is a crash on 64 West past Chesterfield Parkway exit 19 with a short backup to Chesterfield Parkway exit 20. They finally cleared an accident on 270 North before Olive, but traffic is still jammed back to Manchester. There's a crash on 55 South past 44. 270 South is crowded from north of Olive down to Ladue Road. 64 West is busy from Kings Highway to Hampton. 64 East bogs down at 170. And 55 South is running slow from Gasconade to 4500 South Broadway. This traffic report is brought to you by Fielder Electric. See what everyone is saying about the pros at Fielder Electric. Whether it's a new build or a 100-year-old home, Fielder Electric has you covered. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
I've kind of lost track. Are we more than 70 hours into Nancy Guthrie's disappearance? Alex Stone, ABC News correspondent in L.A., joins us with the latest. Is that about right? 70?
Well, yeah, about 4 days now
Okay.
that she's been missing. And today the sheriff is very quiet. That he had said yesterday he needed some time away from the media and that he would not be giving any updates until tomorrow. So we expect that we are going to hear from him again tomorrow. But couple of things that we do now know. I mean, she is still missing. The sheriff's department tells us that there's nothing new there. We are hearing for the first time what it sounded like as the units were told about Nancy Guthrie missing on Sunday. And it's interesting. It went out as an unable to locate, as just a missing person. Even though that they had been for hours at the home, they did not put it out as a crime victim, as a kidnapping victim. It was just a elderly, unable to locate. Dispatchers saying this to all the units.
Every reference Nancy, a white female, 84 years of age, 5'2" medium build, pineapple blue, ring after 2,200 hours as of yesterday. Nancy has high blood pressure, pacemaker, and cardiac issues.
The cardiac issues there, the audio from Broadcastify. And then there was chatter as they were looking for between two deputies. There was one deputy who says, "Hey, I just saw an older person. Tell me what this Nancy looks like again."
Do we have a description yet of the subject? 84-year-old female, unknown clothes, not super mobile, possibly walking with a cane.
So, I mean, they really were just working on a missing persons report at that point, which is interesting if all this evidence was there when they went in. But initially to units, they're, at least what they were putting out wide to them, no indication that it was a crime. But that did apparently change as the hours went on. And, of course, we've heard the sheriff say.
We do believe that Nancy was taken from her home against her will, and that's where we're at.
And now, guys, separately today, there were reports that investigators were honing in on Nancy Guthrie's son-in-law, the husband of Savannah's sister, but the sheriff's department is saying no, that they are talking to all family members, as is routine, that they have not identified any person of interest or any suspect. In fact, they pretty firmly chastise those reports and other gossip that they say has been out there on a lot of different websites and different places as being wrong, and saying none of that is helping their investigation when there are rumors that are put out there that are unverified. But at this point, there remain no indications of her whereabouts, what happened to Nancy Guthrie. They're still searching right now.
Yeah, that's kind of the most disheartening part, that it just seems to be nothing leading us to her safe return.
Yeah, and they're in the same boat. I mean, we're hearing from a number of different sources inside the investigation saying they just don't know. They are talking to everybody who has been close to her. It could be people working in the neighborhood. It can be neighbors. It could be anybody who had come in contact with her. And so far, they have nothing indicating who took her or why. And, there was that reported ransom note yesterday. The sheriff's department says they're going to investigate it. They're looking at it, but there's nothing at this point that indicates that is authentic either, that is real, and not just somebody either doing a hoax or trying to get a lot of money out of the family by claiming that they have her. There's nothing indicating where she is.
And since we're here on radio, I feel like we should paint a picture, because I was thinking, neighborhood where you have clear streets. But when watching the stories on TV, I mean, the other houses, for them to have any kind of ring camera, I don't think you could even see the street from the house, because they're set so far back. And then there's cacti and all kinds of different trees blocking the view.
Yeah, it's a fairly remote neighborhood. It's not like mansions that you would think of. I think her home is 3,000 square feet. It's not tiny, but it's not a mansion by any means with a small pool in the back. But the homes are way off of the road. It's kind of more of a rustic road, and then most of them have dirt driveways, and there are a lot of cacti that are between the road and the homes, and the homes are pretty secluded. So, yeah, I mean, it would depend on where the neighbors have cameras. They have one on their mailbox, or do they have a clear view of the street down their driveway? Maybe then they got something, but that's unknown, because the homes, it's not, a suburban neighborhood where every doorbell camera is going to catch everything going on the street.
Mm-hmm. Alex, thank you so much for keeping us up to date on this story.
You got it. Thanks, guys.
Worldwide Technology Raceway is the only track in America to host a NASCAR event, an IndyCar event, and an NHRA event.
The Raceway features a full schedule on their drag strip, oval track, and gateway kartplex. For full schedule and ticket info, go online to www.raceway.com.
The track, under the leadership of owner Curtis Francois, continues to upgrade the race experience for fans who come from around the country. For tickets, go to www.raceway.com.
That's www.raceway.com.
The official birthplace of the toasted ravioli is
Mama's on the Hill.
And Mama's on the Hill serves the best in town. Mama's has been a mainstay on the Hill for decades and is still a family-run restaurant serving up great Italian food in a fun atmosphere. Open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner, and right in the heart of the Hill at Edwards and Bischoff. Delicious catering and party rooms too.
Mama's on the Hill.
Make reservations at 314-776-3100 and 24/7 at mamasonthehill.com.
I'm Farmer Dave, and here's my good friend and owner of MasterCars Inc., Alex Rosenberger, with today's hot MasterCars Inc. deal.
Thanks, Farmer Dave. I'm combating wintertime blues by purchasing cool cars and motorcycles. Do you have a unique, low-mile, or super clean car you'd like to sell? Call me. I'm looking for Corvettes, Mustangs, Camaros, Harleys, Ducatis, Porsches, or anything super low-mile and super clean. Even everyday cars if they're exceptionally nice and well cared for. I'll come to you if you're in the St. Louis area, especially if you have more than one vehicle to sell. It's okay if you have a loan on it. We'll make the payoff. We make it easy. Hop on our site and submit your vehicle. We'll take it from there.
So rev that motor and point your car in the direction of MasterCars Inc. and buy or sell today. 4100 Namioki Road in Granite City, or visit MasterCarsInc.com to get more details. That's MasterCarsInc.com.
The Big 550.
KTRS St. Louis.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The federal agency that investigates workplace discrimination is seeking court enforcement of a subpoena issued to Nike.
The Equal Opportunity Employment Commission says it's looking into allegations that DEI policies at Nike have led to discrimination against white employees, applicants, and training program participants in the ways they're hired, promoted, demoted, or fired. The commission has now gone to court to seek enforcement of a subpoena for data on the racial and ethnic makeup of Nike's workforce. The EEOC says it's taking the step because the company failed to provide the information voluntarily.
ABC's Stephen Portnoy. New information in the investigation into the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, the mother of NBC Today anchor Savannah Guthrie. Sources tell ABC News the FBI is now sending additional agents and experts to Pima County to help reinforce efforts on the ground and to aid local investigators. Among those being sent is a supervisor who will run a task force that includes experts in hostage negotiation and technology. And we're learning more about the initial response when the 84-year-old was reported missing.
We're now hearing police radio traffic from Sunday as dispatchers alerted all units that Nancy Guthrie was missing.
Nancy, a white female, 84 years of age, 5 medium build.
The audio from Broadcastify. Today, the Pima County Sheriff's Department saying, contrary to some reporting that they have not yet identified a suspect or even a person of interest in the case, they say they are talking to anybody who may have had contact with Nancy Guthrie. Alex Stone, ABC News.
Members of Nancy Guthrie's church and community tonight will hold a vigil. Tom Homan announced a drawdown of 700 federal agents in Minnesota. Roughly 2,000 federal agents continue immigration operations in the Twin Cities. President Trump, in an interview with NBC News, says he ordered that drawdown. On Wall Street today, stocks ending mixed. You're listening to ABC News.
Repairing chimneys, walkways, porches, foundations, entire homes, anything to do with brick or stone, you need a tuck pointer you can trust, and that, of course, is Morelli. Morelli is a family-run business started in 1991, and they're only as good as their last customer. That's why when you check out the reviews online at MorelliTuckPointing.com, you'll notice that they're actual customers who are singing the praises of Morelli. So if you need a tuck pointer, you need Morelli. 314-645-1387 or MorelliTuckPointing.com.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
This year, I'm giving my hair salon a total makeover.
Total makeover sounds totally expensive.
We updated our logo and colors, so I needed to print new signage, brochures, business cards, everything.
Everything will not be cheap.
Staples did it all, and I saved $100 on my order.
$100? Trim my whiskers, that's a good deal. For everything your business needs to print, let's go Staples.
That was easy.
Offer valid in-store and online. Ends 1/31. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
It's Jill
Farmer, Medicare is overwhelming. Parts, plans, deadlines. It's a lot. That's why so many of you turn to Ryan Raphael, the Medicare man. Ryan breaks Medicare down in plain English, helps you compare options, and make sure you're not overpaying or undercovered. No pressure, no confusion, just clear guidance from someone who actually cares. If you're turning 65, already on Medicare, or helping a parent navigate it all, start with someone you can trust. For the right plan, call a Medicare man. 314-368-6808, MedicareManSTL.com.
This is KTRS News. I'm Sobe Bay. A North County man accused of not reporting his roommate's death is now facing a charge of abandonment of a corpse. That charge was filed against 49-year-old Terrence Smith. According to a probable cause statement, St. Louis County Police conducted a welfare check on January 21st at an apartment in the 8800 block of Dragonwick Drive at the request of the victim's cousin and the property management. The victim was discovered lying on the couch underneath blankets and clothing. She displayed signs of decomposition, no pulse, and was cold to touch. The victim's name hasn't been released or her cause of death. The city of St. Louis ended the month of January with 7 homicides, the fewest since 2011. So now, including the 4 days of February, there are currently 11 homicides so far in 2026, which is the same as this time 1 year ago, compared to 24 murders in 2024. Legislation aimed at restoring hands-on learning in Missouri's elementary classrooms will be heard in the Missouri House of Representatives. House Bill 2230, sponsored by State Representative Tricia Burns, will be taken up by the House Committee on Elementary and Secondary Education today. The bill, known as the Hands-on Learning Restoration Act, seeks to curb excessive screen time in K-5 classrooms and restore foundational instruction through printed books, handwriting, and hands-on learning. Illinois House Minority Leader Toni McCombie says she's expecting support from Democrats on her bill that would ensure that legislative proceedings are available to the public. Details from KTRS's Steve Potter.
House Speaker Chris Welch and Senate President Don Harmon, both Democrats, have already shown support for Republican McCombie's House bill that would make audio and video recordings of legislative proceedings available to the public for 30 days. McCombie says this will increase public trust in government and that 44 other states have already adopted the policy.
This isn't something Illinois should be lagging behind on. With Democrat leaders already committing their support, I expect this bill to be a bipartisan, unanimous agreement.
House Speaker Welch says this is not only a reasonable request, but also a transformative one. House Bill 4383 will be considered when the legislative session resumes February 17th. Steve Potter, KTRS News.
During the recent intense winter snowstorm and a week of extreme cold temperatures in Illinois, MISO, M-I-S-O, a regional grid operator, called on utility customers to conserve electricity due to high demand and weather conditions. It was a position a couple of downstate Republicans said Illinois never should have been in. Representative Charlie Meyer said it was a situation that has been created by a lack of leadership and a lack of concern about what Illinois residents have to pay for their electricity.
We've pushed green energy policies forward without guaranteeing us a base load. If you want to pull up and look at your solar use the last 10 days and see how much energy they put out, until yesterday they were still covered with snow. They weren't putting out energy. Now we're going to pay more of Illinois taxpayers' dollars into battery storage, which could maybe store energy for up to 4 hours for a few thousand people, is ridiculous.
The energy legislation was approved during the veto session in October and was signed by the governor in early January. A delegation of more than 20 global leaders representing 7 countries are in St. Louis this week. The Donald Danforth Plant Science Center is hosting an event to advance global collaboration on food security and sustainable agriculture through a new initiative, AgriTech, for resilience, innovation, and sustainable ecosystems. That was our KTRS Business Minute, brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll Florist wants to help you show your loved one you care this Valentine's Day with hand-delivered flowers. Send a sweet surprise with one of their head-turning arrangements or gift sets. They have wonderful selections ready to say, I love you this Valentine's Day and every day. Trust Walter Knoll Florist to deliver your Valentine's Day gift. Go to WKF.com. And now this look at the markets is brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune in to Straight Talk on Retirement, Saturday mornings 9 to 11. Wall Street at the close, Dow Jones jumped 260 points to close the day at 49,501. NASDAQ dropped 350 points to 22,904, and the S&P 500 dropped 35 points to close at 6,882. Now let's get a check of sports and traffic with Captain Paul Kopsky.
Sobe, the Blues are in Dallas this evening to take on the Stars, their final game before the Olympic break. The note fell 4-3 to the Stars at home a little more than a week ago. And fifth-ranked Illinois basketball is home tonight against in-state rival Northwestern. The Illini will be looking for a season sweep against the Wildcats and 12 wins in a row overall on the season. I'm Paul Kopsky from the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk, and now on to traffic. The latest is an accident on 270 south at 64, blocking the two right lanes with a stop-and-go back up to Olive. A crash on 64 west past Chesterfield Parkway exit 19 is causing a backup to near 141. There's a crash on 55 south past 44. Emergency vehicles are on 70 east past Tucker. 270 south is crowded from north of Olive down to Ladue Road. 64 west busy from Kings Highway to Hampton, and 55 south is running slow from Gasconade to 4500 South Broadway. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Thank you, Captain Paul. KTRS weather tonight, cloudy, overnight low of 17. Tomorrow, warming trend begins. Cloudy, high of 42. And then Friday, partly cloudy, high near 50. Weekend temperatures will be in the 40s. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, we're back over 50. Right now, under clear skies, we have 32 degrees. The time is 5:09. I'm Sobe Bay, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
When you pay for tree work, you want to be sure you're getting the most for your hard-earned money. That's why you should always use the ISA-certified arborist at River City Tree Service in Baldwin, Missouri. Hi, I'm Steve with River City Tree Service, and we've been the go-to tree service since 2008. Tree removal, tree trimming, storm damage, deadwood removal, stump grinding, and more. Give River City Tree Service a call for all your tree service needs at 314-270-8071. That's 314-270-8071. River City Tree Service.
From the same guys who brought you the watering bowl, say hello to the number 2 crew. The number 2 crew will visit your yard once a week in St. Louis City, St. Louis County, or St. Charles County, and they'll take care of your dog's business. Think of the number 2 crew as your yard's best friend. 314-717-8880 or the number2crew.com. The number 2 crew, reporting for duty each and every week in your backyard. The number 2 crew or the number2crew.com.
Holton Patterson has been doing big firm services at small firm fees since 1977. Taxes, accounting, audits, payroll, and other services. Holton Patterson is a full-service CPA firm. Unlike other firms, Holton Patterson does not charge for phone calls. Many clients have been with Holton Patterson for decades, and clients' children often become Holton Patterson's clients as well. Trusted by local and national business owners across America for over 50 years, Holton Patterson handles your numbers so you don't have to. Holton Patterson is a proud sponsor of the Backstoppers on KTRS. HoltPatterson.com.
Are you retired? Are you thinking about retiring? Who is helping you with retirement? Might be time to check out the show When Retirement Happens, hosted by Kevin Lloyd of Legacy Wealth Advisors. Saturday at 1, Sunday at noon on the Big 550 KTRS.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
The Missouri State Legislature is less than 30% female. Lindenwood University hosted its first ever Women Weekend seminar called Rise and Run that sort of walked women through information needed to run for office. Barbara Hostamarty and Nina Needleman helped organize the event, and they're joining us with some of the key takeaways. I think this is such a great event. How many people attended?
So we had about 60 participants. 40 were there to learn, and we had roughly 14 to 20 different speakers.
How did you come up with your panel of experts?
I'm going to let Nina answer that because she recruited most of them.
Well, we really wanted a comprehensive training that covered all the logistics of running. So from elevator pitch to how you do a budget, how you build a team, fundraising, voter contact strategy, endorsement strategies, media training, social media. We wanted them to know what they don't know.
Absolutely. And there's a lot that we don't know, I think. I mean, especially when it comes to this game of running. Is this for someone thinking about running for school board, or is this for somebody maybe looking at a higher office?
All of the above.
Really?
Because really there's a lot more positions than government.
Yes.
I mean, there's something like 500,000 positions nationally that women can apply for: school boards, councils, state reps, state senate, and more.
And every single election does the same basic things, right? And it tends to be just a matter of scale, whether you are putting together a race for school board or the county board, or, you want to run for president.
So true. What did you find that most women are afraid of or leery of when it comes to actually throwing their name in the hat? Is there a common thread?
Well, there is. A lot of women have what we call imposter syndrome. They think they're not good enough. Whereas men, their whole lives get the message that they are, and they apply. And when you can, when Republicans and Democrats convince women to run, they win. But, women are 50% of the population, but they're way underrepresented in government.
That is so true. So you had a good turnout. Do you think that this is something that you guys will continue? Will you do it again?
Yeah. In fact, we are going to, throughout the rest of the year, we're going to do smaller lunch and learns, focusing on specific topics. Like we have one scheduled for March 5th that will focus on specifically running for school board. And then we'll do at least maybe 2 or 3 more before the end of the year. And we'd like to repeat this, day and a half long training again next year.
I do think it is such a great idea. When you sat there and you talked to the women who were most interested, did they really want to get into this? Did they just want to learn more? What did you discover about the women attending?
Well, there was a mix. So I would say, and actually I thought the number was more closer to 70 if you looked at both days. Some want to run now or later. And others, and we were encouraging others to come to work on campaigns so they could really effectively help. Because maybe your best friend says, gosh darn it, I want to beat so-and-so, and they put their name in the hat, but they may not know what they're really doing. It's less threatening. A lot of people say, oh, I don't want to run. But it's a little less scary when you know what the steps are. And, it's like what Tracy McCreary said, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. When you know the steps to take. I mean, we had, for example, Wendy Hausman was really terrific about this is about relationships. You've got to get out there. Gene Evans and Tracy McCreary, who are from different sides, did a little panel about collaborating. And you know what? They work together and they like each other. They even play tennis together. So demonstrating that you can get along with the other side and how much you get done was, I think, really powerful.
I'm going to make a lot of generalizations, so please smack me.
Can you reach him, Nina?
No, you're on the other side of the studio.
These chairs roll. I'll move over to you.
I can roll there.
But the more we see about politicians, and when the curtain's pulled back, they have to beg for money every single day. If you're in the House, you got to run for re-election every 2 years, so you're really always campaigning. You have to be two-faced a lot. You have to lie a lot. Do you think that women get into this, see what is all entails, and they're smart enough to say, I don't want to do this?
Well, let me comment on that. Something that we heard repeatedly is how important it is for women to be authentic, and that people expect that. And, their job is to raise money and have voter contact. You're raising money so you can reach more people. It might be paying for canvassers. It might be for palm pieces. But that's why they raise money, and they figure out sort of their, what's it called, the win ratio?
Win number.
Win number. And what does it take? And it's going to take more in, statewide races than it is for a school board race. And it's going to take more if it's contested versus not. But it's sort of part of the game. You've got to raise the money.
Yeah. And it's one of those things, I think, and you kind of touched on this. It's like if a man is assertive, we all respect him. If a woman is assertive, she's often called the B word. And I think that that's one of the things we faced. What would you say are the 3 takeaways of the conference over the weekend?
So Jill Shoup was fantastic
I
in
love
summarizing the 3 takeaways. And the thing is, like, you're asking yourself, what should you be doing today? And the answer is 3 things. You should be raising money. You should be talking to voters, and you should be out there, or you should be reaching out to voters, and if you can, you should be knocking on their doors, right? Because it's that personal contact, it's that face-to-face, it's letting people know that you genuinely care about them and you're interested in them is what moves the needle a lot at these more local levels, right? Maybe not quite so much at the national level, but at the local and statewide politics, it's still retail.
Yeah.
Well, and one way that women are different, a lot of them said it's so important to listen. You don't go in and, you have to know that community. You've got to spend a lot of time listening to what's important to people. And if people disagree, it's even more important that you listen and that you talk to them.
Preach.
Because, help me understand. Because, you can communicate better. Because a lot of times when they were talking, Tracy and Jean were talking about how you get a bill through, you find somebody on the other side that's adamant against it. Tell me, explain to me. And sometimes there's little pieces of things you can agree on, and that helps you work towards compromise and collaborating and getting something done.
Yeah, that is a fantastic point. We're talking to Nita Needleman and Barbara Hostamarty, who organized this great Rise and Run event that happened over the weekend at Lindenwood. But you can expect to see more of this. When it comes to running, is it just one issue that people need to be thinking about? Or if you're thinking, maybe this is something I want to do you need to have 3 or 4 different platforms? Is there a rule of thumb?
So the rule of thumb tends to be no more than 3 issues that you really are focusing on.
Passionate about.
That you're passionate about. Because most of the time you don't have enough time to go through 9 different things when you're having a conversation with somebody, right? So the 3 things that are driving you. And then it's about stepping back and listening to them and then doing your best to see how what they say can resonate into the 3 things that you already care about, right? Because so many things are connected, and it's about making those connections.
Yeah.
So let's look at the city of St. Louis. The last 3 mayors have all been women. But as you look around the country, are there certain places that are more receptive to women? Are there certain places that you say, we probably won't get a woman in charge there for another 20 years?
I think it's there doesn't seem to be a place that is, inherently more receptive to women. It tends to be lower level offices are easy to get into. So even the mayor of a mid-sized city, but you're not maybe going to see a mayor of Chicago, which, they did have a female mayor, but New York, those kind of things are harder to break into. And the more women get into positions in lower offices, it builds them up and gives them credibility to run for a more national office.
And I asked you about this off the air, but do you want more women running for office, or do you want more women staffing the offices when it comes to the politics? Do you want them in the position of power?
Everywhere.
Or everywhere?
All of the above.
Yeah, you want them everywhere. And the reason it matters isn't just because we're women, but because the fact that no single ideology, no single gender has all the answers, right? And the more diversity we have in the room where decisions are happening, better decisions are going to be made. More life experiences that are represented, we're going to get better policy and better government. There's just no 2 ways about that.
It's so well said. And, it reminds me of when, and completely different subject, but Tina Fey was interviewed by David Letterman, and she was talking about her writing experience on SNL. And she said she was really the only woman in the room. And so she would pitch a joke, and none of them got it. They pitched a joke, they all laughed, and that's what made it to the stage that night. And it's kind of the same thing. You have to have everybody in the room to be making the decisions for all of us, not just 50% of us. So I think this is a brilliant idea, and I look forward to you guys doing it once again. Hopefully you'll let us know when the next one's taking place so we can spread the word. Thank you so much.
We'd love to. Thank you for having us.
Thank you
This
for
is
having
great.
us.
Yeah.
Way back in time, if you had a leak in the roof of your hut, I imagine you had to find a tree close by, scale it, and then jump and hope you could get up there and see what was wrong. Then came the advent of the ladder. There was an easier way to get up there and see if something was wrong. And with modern technology, we finally get around to the drone. Now, the folks at Allen Roofing use those instead of trees and ladders. Send a drone up, find out if there's anything wrong with your roof, get some pictures, go over it with you, and see if there's a problem, how bad it is, what they could do, what it'll cost. Or if everything's just fine, they will tell you that too. Boy, it's so nice we don't have to climb trees to look at our hut. Allen Roofing embracing technology and doing quality roof repair, siding, gutters, everything for the outside of your home. Just ask Gronk. He was one of the first customers. It's Allen Roofing. Find them online at aroofing.net.
Since 1974, Mazza's has been a local family-owned restaurant known for delicious Italian food the whole family can enjoy. Visit Mazza's St. Charles for daily lunch specials and bottomless mimosas during Sunday brunch, and celebrate Valentine's Day with a $70 dinner for two. Reservations required. Mazza's is proud to support the Backstoppers on KTRS. Call 636-925-2961 or visit mazzasofcourse.com and click on St. Charles for more information. Serving the St. Louis metro area since 1974 at 5 area locations. Choose Mazza's, of course.
Now is the perfect time to fall in love with your next home. First Community has a home loan that is perfect for you. Our Smart Choice Home Loan is a 30-year fixed-rate loan with a great rate. And with a 10% down payment, you won't have to pay for private mortgage insurance. It's home buying made easy at First Community. $1 share deposit required. Must qualify for membership. Loan subject to credit approval. Rate, terms, and conditions subject to change without notice. MLS ID number 684198.
Hello, I'm Florissant Mayor Tim Lowry. We are 52,000 strong, and we are the largest municipality in St. Louis County. The City of Florissant is proud to once again be a co-sponsor with the Big 550 KTRS for the Backstoppers Radiothon. I come from a law enforcement family and have worked my way through the ranks to the position of Chief of Police before becoming mayor. I know how important the Backstoppers are to our community and all the wonderful things that they do for the families of our fallen heroes. Again, the City of Florissant is proud to support this year's Backstoppers Radiothon, and thank you for all you do. We are Florissant Strong. Be safe and stay healthy.
Do you have the option to control your cash flow and wealth? Are you getting a return on your greatest asset, your lifetime and potential generational income? Overcome these critical financial planning challenges by discovering the Control Option Mindset featuring the Lifetime and Generational Income Maximizer. Call Mark Benson and his team at the Control Option at 314-432-9540 or online at thecontroloptionmindset.com.
The Missouri Valley Conference Men's Basketball Tournament has been the showcase for buzzer beaters, madness, and championship glory. With nearly 5 decades of heart-racing excitement, it begins here at Enterprise Center. The 2026 State Farm MVC Tournament, presented by Credit Union One, Great Southern Bank, and SSM Health, tips off on March 5th through 8th. Celebrate 50 years of the Valley's postseason championship. Get your tickets now at archmadness.com.
Bijou Chocolates in Webster Groves is bringing chocolate jewels to St. Louis. Owner and chocolatier Maggie Mobley and her talented staff create artisan, hand-painted chocolates with the perfect combination of science and art. Bijou Chocolates are so much more than delicious. Sweet treats. They create the handmade, meticulous works of art right inside their store in Webster Groves. For directions and hours, visit bijouchocolates.com.
All right, time to get another check of traffic with Captain Paul. How's travel looking this afternoon?
Heidi, all of the accidents have cleared. We just have some slow traffic. 270 south is crowded from north of Olive down to Ladue Road. 64 west is busy from Kings Highway to Hampton. 55 south is running slow from south of Arsenal to 4500 South Broadway. And we have a stalled vehicle on the 270 north on-ramp from Page. This traffic report is brought to you by Neighbors Credit Credit Union. If you're ready to upsize, downsize, or first-time home buy, turn to the team at Neighbors Credit Union. At Neighbors Credit Union, you'll find great rates, expert advice, and personalized friendly service throughout the entire home loan process and beyond. That's just what you'd expect from a great neighbor. Apply online today at neighborscu.org. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Come fly with me, let's fly away. If you can.
TWA is a big part of our St. Louis story. Alan Hoffman and Daniel Rust have written a book about the carrier. Come Fly With Me, The Rise and Fall of Trans World Airlines. And Alan is here with a look back. Thanks for making time for us this afternoon.
Well, thanks for having me.
You know, I think we know the stories about Charles Lindbergh, but I'm not sure about his role with TWA.
Well, Lindbergh was involved in the creation of a airline called Transcontinental Air Transport in 1929, which interestingly was a transcontinental service that relied on trains as well as airplanes. Because in 1929, air service was not that reliable. Airplanes were not thought to be able to really fly at night or in bad weather. So it started out on the Pennsylvania Railroad in New York, and you rode the railroad overnight on a luxurious Pullman car to Columbus, Ohio, where you transferred to the airplane, flew on the airplane to a little place in the middle of nowhere in Oklahoma called Waynoka, and there you got off the plane, and then you got on the Santa Fe Railroad, and you took the Santa Fe overnight again to Clovis, New Mexico, where you got on the airplane again and flew on to L.A.
Wow.
Yeah, with numerous stops on the plane.
Just a real quick jump.
Yeah. Well, their slogan, accurately enough, was coast to coast in 48 hours.
Okay.
And it took, about 4 days on the train, so that was still an improvement.
Wow. So I've always wondered, too, what is it about TWA that we can't get past or that we're still so in awe of? What was it about that particular carrier?
Well, TWA, in my view, as much as any airline, and really more than the others, did the most to market and popularize air travel to travelers in the United States. And, you probably recall, of course, during the Howard Hughes period, there was the Hollywood tie-in and all of those sorts of things. And TWA aggressively took advantage of all of that.
Smart.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned the Hollywood thing. You watch movies from the 50s and 60s. If there's anything to do with air travel, it's TWA front and center.
Sure. Well, none of you, of course, are old enough to have watched or remember the Mickey Mouse Club.
Of course.
Back in the 50s?
Yes.
The first season that the Mouse Club was on, 1955, Disney had a tie-in with TW, and they had a series that ran for, I think, a week or so, called What I Want to Do When I Grow Up, and it was being a TWA pilot for the little boy and a TWA hostess, as they were called, for the little girl. Yeah.
That's wild.
What was it that drew you to writing this book? Because, this is really the only comprehensive history of TWA and its predecessors on shelves.
Well, personally, I think the TWA story is interesting. I'm an airplane and aviation freak, have been all my life. And I just thought the TWA story was interesting and worth telling.
And what about are there specific ties to St. Louis, or is it just because I grew up here, I assumed that we had a big part of it? It was a part of our town.
Yeah. No, St. Louis was always a very integral and important part of TWA. And going back to the Transcontinental, or TAT, if I may, it was one of the stops that you took on the airplane. After Columbus, you went to Indianapolis, and then St. Louis, Kansas City, Wichita, and Waynoka, Oklahoma.
How did St. Louis become one of the largest hubs?
Well, of course, again, it was kind of in the middle of TWA's route structure.
Okay.
But it became a hub in the deregulation era in the 80s, when the hub and spoke operation became the industry model. And so if you were an airline, you had to have a hub from which you could collect all your flights and send them out to the outlying areas. And TWA made St. Louis its domestic hub in 1982 during the throes of the agonies that the airline industry went through in deregulation.
Okay, so the only other big major airline of that era was Pan Am, and you have the big Pan Am building in New York City. It's attached to Grand Central Station. Well, it's the MetLife building now. But did TWA have a big building here? Where were they located? Were they bigger than Pan Am at one point? Where were their headquarters?
Well, their headquarters were in different cities at different times. It was St. Louis at the end of the line, starting in 1993, after Carl Icahn was pushed out, and their headquarters were in, I can't think what the name of the building was. It was a kind of nondescript office tower downtown that was connected to, the mall that existed down
St. Louis Center.
Uh-huh. St. Louis Center. Thank you for refreshing my recollection.
And don't forget, it was the TWA Dome. It was on the the roof of the dome when the Rams first got here.
Yeah.
So it sounds like TWA is on top of the world. What went wrong?
Well, where should I start with that?
With Carl? Should we start with Carl?
Well, yeah, I'm going to try to put it into that context. So, in 1984, TWA was wholly owned by a holding company called Trans World Corporation, which had some other businesses that had little or nothing to do with aviation. And in 1984, TWA was spun off from that and became publicly held again. Of course, it was struggling, as many airlines were, and its stock price, when it became publicly held again, was depressed. And so that attracted the attention of a couple of notorious corporate raiders, to wit, Frank Lorenzo and Carl Icahn. And there was a bidding war between Lorenzo and Icahn. Lorenzo had his airline empire based on Texas Air Corporation, which he had been assembling. And Icahn knew nothing about the airline industry, was a financial manipulator, as we know, but saw it as an opportunity to do what he excelled at doing, which was acquiring control of undervalued corporations, selling off their assets, and pocketing the proceeds. And that, of course, was the model that he followed with TWA.
TWA and the story is really, as you put it, about three larger-than-life personalities, characters.
Yeah, that was the theme of the book that Daniel and I had. And I think it appropriately kind of tells the story of TWA. Lindbergh was present at the creation. He was the technical director for transcontinental air transport, and then for TWA when it became TWA by merging with another airline called Western Air Express. And then Lindbergh, of course, went in a different direction, and then along came Howard Hughes in 1939, and eventually acquired control of the corporation.
Now, we know how Howard Hughes exited, and it's a pretty infamous story, but how did he exit TWA? What was that transition?
Hughes from TW?
Yeah.
Well, he was forced out by TWA's creditors because Howard was a bit late to the party in the jet age. As we know, Howard had some mental issues in the 50s and was unable to make decisions and make up his mind. And so he dithered along, was late acquiring jet aircraft for TWA. And, of course, they were all in the Hughes era. The planes were not owned by TWA. They were owned by Hughes Tool Company, which was the fountainhead of Hughes' wealth.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then he effectively leased them to the airline. But anyway, the costs of acquiring somewhat belatedly the jet fleet were massive. They were beyond even what Hughes Tool could provide. And so Hughes, in 1959 and 1960, was attempting to find a way to finance the jets that he had now purchased, but didn't really have the wherewithal to pay for them. And eventually, staying out of all the rather boring financial details, but there were some lenders involved. They became very dissatisfied with what Hughes was doing. And Hughes was eventually compelled to put his stock. He had 78% of the stock of TWA. He was compelled to put it in a voting trust that was presided over by 3 other individuals. So he owned, after that, and starting in January 1961, he owned the stock, but he had no control over the corporation.
Wow. Well, I mean, there's so much history when it comes to TWA. And as I said, Alan Hoffman has written a book about it. Come Fly With Me. As I mentioned, it's the only comprehensive history of TWA and its predecessors. And you can purchase the book wherever books are sold. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Well, it was a pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely.
Galmish & Sons have been providing quality heating and cooling services since 1950. They work exclusively with Lennox, the preferred choice of St. Louis homeowners. Call Galmish & Sons for your next Lennox HVAC installation and service. 314-993-1110.
Hey, it's Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. When winter hits St. Louis, your furnace doesn't get a day off. And if yours is older, it may be running nonstop and still not keeping you comfortable. Winter has a way of exposing weak links. You're probably paying more and getting less. Or if your home never quite feels warm enough in the winter, your furnace may be telling you something else, especially if it's been around for a while. That's why I want you to call Premier Heating and Cooling. Their technicians go through 5 years of training beyond industry standards. It's Premier standards. Heating your home shouldn't feel like a struggle. Older furnaces work harder and use more energy. If you want lower energy bills and better heat, it's just all around smarter to consider a new furnace. And yes, Premier offers financing, which makes upgrading a whole lot easier. So whether you need a tune-up or you're ready for something new, make your winter a lot more comfortable for your home or your business. Call 636-916-1122. PremierHeatingCooling.net. Comfort you can count on.
Ray's Tree Service wants to remind you not to forget about your trees this winter. The spring storms will be here before we know it, and if those trees go untreated, you could have a real mess on your hands. Caring for your trees now will help promote better airflow and light penetration, which can enhance your tree, lawn, and landscape health. Call Ray's Tree Service at 314-821-2665 for a free estimate with one of our qualified arborists, or online at raystreeservice.com.
When you want to send flowers to a loved one for a birthday, anniversary, or that special occasion, call your friends at Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll is family-owned and operated and offers custom designs by expert designers. A huge inventory and selection that only the largest florist can offer, with quality and care that no grocery store florist can meet. They have several locations in the St. Louis metro area to serve you. Order online today at WKF.com. That's WKF.com. Walter Knoll Florist, your personal florist since 1883.
You're selling your home, and I want to buy it. This is Mike Robinson with Robank Properties, and I am ready to pay top dollar for your home. No contingencies, no inspections, no monkey business. I buy your home no matter the condition or location, and you walk away with cash. Call me, Mike Robinson, at 314-283-0867, 314-283-0867, or at robankproperties.com. That's ROBANG properties.com.
Attention KTRS listeners, Appliance Discounters has a deal for you. Shop now and receive an instant 5% rebate off your next appliance purchase. 5% instant savings off their already low prices. And you can receive other factory rebates, some up to $1,500 direct from the manufacturer. Huge savings, locally owned, next day delivery, 18 months interest-free financing. Appliance Discounters with 6 area locations or online at theappliancediscounters.com.
Elevate your home with stunning lighting from Metro Lighting.
Shopping for a gorgeous chandelier for your dining room?
Need a new table lamp?
Or lighting your entire dream home?
Our certified lighting specialists are here to help.
Locally owned with 6 convenient locations.
An amazing selection of lighting for any style and budget.
And all at the guaranteed best price.
And did you know?
Metro Lighting is a great source for furniture, art, and home decor too.
Metro Lighting.
Full of bright ideas for your home.
How do you separate estate planning from elder law? You don't, because they're so intertwined. Let's face it, we're all getting older, and you need to make these decisions today, whether it's for your parents, for yourself, or for future generations. Rudy Beck, Jay Lennox, and Caroline Stolzer have been navigating these important decisions for more than 50 years. Beck, Lennox, Stolzer, Estate Planning, and Elder Law. Call them, 636-946-7899 or beckelderlaw.com. You can thank me later.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Well, let's talk a little entertainment news. Earlier today, we found out that NBC is replacing Savannah Guthrie with Mary Carrillo at the Olympics. You know, Savannah was supposed to host the opening ceremony for NBC's coverage of the Winter Olympics, and now we know that Mary, who has done it for years, obviously a big tennis commentator, but
love her so much.
Yeah.
Was she going to be there anyway?
I'm sure she was probably going to be there in some sort of role, but not to actually host the Olympics. You know, the other thing, and this just came in, Craig is now going to skip the Olympics as well. He is going to stay back to help with coverage. I mean, it looks like NBC is just kind of scattering and trying to figure out what is happening there. And I know that I read another article where the powers that be are making sure that their team is safe, just not knowing exactly what happened to Savannah's mom. There's been extra security for all. So neither Craig nor Savannah will be at the Olympics this year. The Kelly Clarkson Show is coming to an end after 7 seasons. She wants to make more time for her kids. In a post, she said she was forever grateful and honored to have worked alongside the greatest band and crew you could hope for, as well as all the talent and inspiring people who have shared their time and lives with us. So
when is that ending?
After this season, so probably, I don't know if it'll be May, or I would assume May, because they won't kick it back up in September. That's usually when the new shows.
And she stepped away for a while. She had some guest hosts.
Well, her husband was dying.
Oh, is that? Oh, I don't think I realized that.
Yeah. So that's why she was gone. He was fighting a brain cancer. And so now that is why she wants to spend more time with her family.
And a daily show is hard.
Oh, gosh.
And
yes.
if you are already famous and you don't have to do it.
Well, and she still doing The Voice and still doing music. She did a Las Vegas residency.
Where
while
does
she's
she have the time to do all this
I
stuff?
mean, that's why she's going to make her family a priority. Sherry Shepherd's show also coming to an end. It was canceled, and I think kind of to her shock. In better news, a Grammy producer says Cher wasn't the least bit bothered by her mix-up during Sunday's show, and neither was he. He says, you want a bit of anarchy, and I don't think anybody would be surprised to learn that, you know, Cher wasn't bothered at all. I think it's Cher's world, and the rest of us just kind of live in it.
I can't believe Cher has ever been embarrassed in a day in her life.
No, I mean,
she's Cher.
The outfits alone. Meryl Streep is going to play Joni Mitchell in the Joni biopic. Clive Davis made the announcement at his annual pre-Grammy party, so that's pretty cool. And you know what's really cool is Meryl was a part of some of those Joni jams. You know, Brandi Carlile kind of got Joni back playing, and all kinds of people would go to her house and play. And I know that there was more than one occasion where Meryl Streep showed up, so she has a little insight on that. If you're looking for something to watch tonight, The Masked Singer is on Fox. The Muppet Show with Sabrina Carpenter, it's a 1-hour special, is on ABC. And I got to tell you, it looks really good. And it looks like the old-timey Muppet Show. I think I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, we got Sabrina on the show tonight. It's going to be a good show.
Yeah. A couple birthdays. Alice Cooper is 78. And Dan Quayle, you want to guess?
Wow. Dan Quayle, vice president in the 80s, young guy. 74?
79. I was kind of shocked by that. You know, of course, you can read about him. I'm sure there's a biography. Don't know if it's an autobiography or if somebody else wrote about Dan Quayle. Of course, you could read about all of the vice presidents and presidents. You'll find all sorts of books at the St. Louis County Library. But it's more than books. They do all kinds of fantastic author events. We're so lucky to have several of those authors swing by here first. It's one of our favorite things. But then they're hosting all kinds of special events for Black History Month. Of course, that's this month. You got all kinds of performances and author events. But you have the Emerson History and Genealogy Center where you can look up your own history. You've got the Teen Creative Lab, a space for teens to do just that, be creative, and that could be audio or video. So if you're looking for a space, if you're looking for a book, if you're looking for something kind of odd, like maybe it's a telescope, all of it can be found at St. Louis County Library, and you can learn more at slcl.org.
Standing Firm. That is the name of the Dan Quayle autobiography.
Thank you, Josh. 11 minutes before 6 o'clock. Let's get one final check of traffic with Captain Paul.
Heidi, 270 South is crowded from north of Olive down to 64. 64 West is busy from Kings Highway to Clayton Skinker. 64 East bogs down from McKnight to Big Bend. And 55 South is running slow and stop and go at times at 4500 South Broadway. This traffic report is brought to you by Fielder Electric. See what everyone is saying about the pros at Fielder Electric. Whether it's a new build or a 100-year-old home, Fielder Electric has you covered. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
This is Mariah, third generation at Newsteaders Fine Jewelry. Buying an engagement ring can be intimidating. At Newsteaders, we ensure complete understanding of your purchase. We offer a choice in both lab and mine-grown diamonds and are able to work with any budget. Let our family help educate you on your choice at Big Bend and Doherty Ferry or at wowdiamonds.com.
It's the half-price sale at Miller Furniture and Mattress, going on now through February 18th.
I'm Mark Miller, owner of Miller Furniture, your home for quality American-made furniture since 1927. Right now, save half off our list price on all in-stock items, plus half off custom orders on Flex Steel, Smith Brothers, Amish-made furniture, and more. Plus, get 60 months special financing.
Right now, take half off any Chatham & Wells mattress when you purchase an adjustable base. Plus, up to $800 off select adjustable mattress sets from Stearns & Foster and Tempur-Pedic.
For every mattress sold, Miller will donate a bike helmet to Helmets First to keep St. Louis kids safe. Hurry in and try out Flex Steel's newest custom comfort sofas and lift chairs and the largest selection of Amish-made furniture. Visit any of our 4 locations in Belleville, Fairview Heights, Lake St. Louis, or Ellisville. Don't miss the half-price sale at Miller Furniture now through February 18th. At Miller Furniture, we put the family in furniture.
St. Louis Ambush Indoor Soccer is back this Saturday at the Family Arena to take on the Tacoma Stars at 6:05 p.m. It's alumni night as we welcome back all the past indoor stars you know. And at halftime, we will retire Mark Moser's jersey number 15, the all-time Ambush leading goal scorer, and unveil the banner in the rafters. Make your plans now for this Saturday and get there early to get your Mark Moser poster presented by the Big 550 KTRS Radio. Tickets available at the Family Arena box office or at Ticketmaster.com. STLambush.com.
Kuna Food Service has been the trusted food supplier in the Midwest since 1918. For over 100 years, Kuna Food Service has been distributing the highest quality food products to some of your favorite restaurants while delivering superior customer service. When a restaurant puts their trust in Kuna Food Service, they get a team that truly cares about their success. That's why at Kuna, they like to say, they're big enough to handle it, yet small enough to care. Check them out online at kunafoodservice.com.
Do you have the option to control your cash flow and wealth? Are you getting a return on your greatest asset, your lifetime and potential generational income? Overcome these critical financial planning challenges by discovering the Control Option Mindset featuring the Lifetime and Generational Income Maximizer. Call Mark Benson and his team at the Control Option at 314-432-9540 or online at thecontroloptionmindset.com.
In these cold winter months, who are you going to trust to heat your home? Gelmish & Sons, since 1950, 314-993-1110. No hedge funds, no private equity firms, just a St. Louis company that will do the job right from the very beginning. They've been in this space for 76 years, taking care of St. Louis homeowners. They'll fix any make and any model. They'll install a new Lennox, and they'll take care of you in these cold winter months. Gelmish & Sons or gelmishandsons.com.
I'm Jeff Zufall, Senior Tax Strategist and Wealth Advisor with Capital Advisory Group. Now, more than ever, having a tax strategy to protect and grow your wealth is an absolute must. Every Saturday, Josh Gilbert and I will discuss how you can keep what's yours, because the most important part of your wealth plan is your tax plan. That's Keep What's Yours this Saturday afternoon.
Capital Advisory Group presents Keep What's Yours with Jeff Zufall and Josh Gilbert this Saturday afternoon at 4 on the Big 550 KTRS.
Basement with a Y. That's Basement E.
It's Basement T.
Basement E?
It's Basement T.
Oh, Basement T. Basement T. I get it. That's the basement waterproofing and foundation repair experts at Woods Basement Systems.
Right. The All Things Basement T experts at Woods Basement Systems will provide you a free estimate and dry out that wet basement and fix that cracked foundation. Call 800-388-9326 or go online to woodsbasementsystems.com.
That's woodsbasementsystems.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, let's wrap this Wednesday up with a couple randoms. Got anything good?
I do. More than 40% of the world's black pepper production happens in Vietnam. This is the salt and pepper, black peppercorns. It comes from Vietnam.
Do you like really fine granules, or you like the big chunks? So do I. But then you got to watch your teeth, because you might have a big old...
big old peppercorn.
Yeah, right in the middle.
Hey, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Quentin Tarantino's first job in Hollywood was as an Elvis impersonator on an episode of...
Love Boat.
The Golden Girls.
The Golden Girls. I've heard that story before.
1988.
The episode, there were a bunch of Elvis impersonators in one episode.
And I guess Quentin was one of them.
That is so fun. All right, you guys, thanks for hanging out with us. I hope you had as much fun as we did, and hopefully you'll meet us back here starting at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Until then, see if you can put a smile on somebody's face.
Through your life, it's all right, it's all right.
The Big 550 KTRS is live, local, and so are you, which is why you should shop local. Your money stays local, creating jobs that are local, local customers in local stores. Triad Bank is also local, a big part of the St. Louis community, and has teamed up with KTRS to present Shop Local Business Salutes throughout the day. After all, we live here too. Listen for Shop Local Business Salutes, sponsored by Triad Bank. Your business, your family, your bank. And the Big 550 KTRS, live and local.
Kick off the season with a winning team. Choose Hackett Security to watch your home while you're watching the game. Hackett Security has a system to meet every budget. They are a locally owned national security company with on-site 24/7 UL listed monitoring. Visit HackettSecurity.com or call 314-432-4200. Who will be watching your home while you're watching the game? Hackett Security. They're looking out for you. 314-432-4200. HACKETT Security.com.
With over 30 years of experience in top-quality senior living, McKnight Place Assisted Living knows how to help its residents live fulfilling lives. The professional staff gets to know all residents and their families. McKnight Place Assisted Living has become known for its high-quality amenities, personalized services, and expert care. But its history of making people a priority is what really sets it apart from many other senior communities. That starts with the residents and extends to their loved ones. 314-993-3333 or visit them at mcknightplace.com.
I'm Farmer Dave, and here's my good friend and owner of MasterCars Inc., Alex Rosenberger, with today's hot MasterCars Inc. deal.
Thanks, Farmer Dave. I'm combating wintertime blues by purchasing cool cars and motorcycles. Do you have a unique, low-mile, or super clean car you'd like to sell? Call me. I'm looking for Corvettes, Mustangs, Camaros, Harleys, Ducatis, Porsches, or anything super low-mile and super clean. Even everyday cars if they're exceptionally nice and well cared for. I'll come to you if you're in the St. Louis area, especially if you have more than one vehicle to sell. It's okay if you have a loan on it. We'll make the payoff. We make it easy. Hop on our site and submit your vehicle. We'll take it from there.
So rev that motor and point your car in the direction of MasterCars Inc. and buy or sell today. 4100 Namioki Road in Granite City, or visit MasterCarsInc.com to get more details. That's MasterCarsInc.com.
We sell siding, windows, doors, and decking by the truckload. My name is Julius Krasanik, celebrating 53 years in this business. Our company is Wholesale Siding Depot, and our seasoned customer service group has over 200 years of combined siding, window, door, and decking knowledge. My grandson Elijah says,
"Are you kidding me?"
The brands that we sell are durable, maintenance-free, and energy-saving. Featuring Anderson, CertainTeed, Viwinco, Provia, Masonite, TimberTech, and others, offering the best selection of styles and colors available in this industry. And better yet, our prices are wholesale every day. Last, our Peace of Mind initiative also includes a free contractor referral service to take care of your installation concerns or needs. You are just one click away from keeping it local, family, and professional. Please visit WSDepot.com. That's WSDepot.com.
She's a lady. Whoa, whoa, whoa. She's a lady. I'm talking about my little lady. And that lady's all mine. Hi, folks. This is Tony Viviano, and I want to invite you to attend my Valentine Day dinner dance concert at Fallon's, Ellisville, Missouri, Saturday, February 14th. Enjoy a 4-course exceptional dinner, all timeless love songs, and a long stem rose for every lady. For more information, visit TonyViviano.com.
The Big 550.
KTRS St. Louis.
From ABC News, I'm Stephanie Officer. The Trump administration has agreed to a drawdown in Minnesota. Tom Homan, the president's border czar, announced today they're immediately removing 700 federal agents from the state. ABC's Matt Rivers.
There's some 2,000 agents that are left in the city, which means that the operation will be continuing, no question about that. But also, who is being drawn down? It is